she was saying was wrong, but I'm just gonna say,
Delivery matters.
yeah, like yeah, basically.
Facts. It's not, and I don't agree with everything she said, but you basically insulted the whole room. Like your delivery was horrible with what you was trying to say. If you was trying to get a point across, and I agree, but people got to realize that TikTok's whole point of doing this is to be attractive to a wide range of people, which means you gonna have strong people, you gonna have weak people, you gonna have all kind of people on here. So I would assume that it's your personal responsibility to how you act on here, because there are kids that are on here, and this app was made for kids. And just because we adults and we came and bullied our way in, don't mean that we don't need to respect the fact that there's still kids on this app. So I'm not gonna take a lot of y'all time. I just wanted to say that.
And then also like I said, I'm not disagreeing with her point, not negating her point either, but we also have to understand that we have younger adults on here and we have older adults on here, and I'm a part of the younger adult crew. So when you have an older adult coming for you and like it does kind of it's kind of like, oh, let me take a step back, like you kind of weird, like why is this old person coming after me so hard, like
Somebody I don't even know.
you know what I mean? Like sometimes I can kind of get how people are like not maybe like frustrated, not maybe like, oh, I'm getting bullied, boo hoo hoo, but like it's frustrating hearing a grown man come at me saying all types of things about me that are not true, and I'm just like, dude, whatever, like you're miserable with your life. And Edward can attest for it. I'm on another live often, and there's dudes that come at
Oh,
me.
what's up? What's good?
Hey, yeah.
What's
There's
up?
people, there's people that come at me, often over like I can say one comment and it'll be like, "Oh, the sky is blue," and then there's men just raining down on me. It's just like, why are these old 53-year-old men coming for a 23-year-old? Like the people that are doing the cyberbullying need to look at themselves as well. Like it's not just the people that are being affected by it, it's the people that are actually doing it. Like you're a grown person on this app behind the screen, not showing your camera, not showing your face. You probably, and then they always want to test your what is it called? Your intelligence. Oh, where'd you graduate from? Where's this, that, and the third? So, I understand certain aspects of it and I understand her aspect too. That's all I'm saying. Somebody said stop crying, and I'm not really crying. I'm just saying what happens.
I mean, the last part for me, I don't necessarily agree with, because again, it's a wide range of people that's on here.
hmm
You respect a person individually. It ain't got nothing to necessarily do with that person's age. But as an older person, you also need to be able to be accountable for how you handle when it's somebody younger on this app. That's
Right.
just
And the younger people as well. Like it's not just the older people. The younger people need to learn how to respect the older people that come on this app. And
you
sometimes they're actually speaking
got.
wise words.
I think
Absolutely. I'm the older. I'm knocking on 70's door. But I think it's important that we learn to agree to disagree. Because sometimes you're not going to change somebody's point of view, but you need to respect people's right. Well, you don't have to, but I choose to respect the people right to think how they think.
Yeah, because
Well,
every
Yeah.
can we keep it a stack then? So the people that have the mindset of changing and trying to get y'all to change y'all mindsets, and y'all like, yeah, I can't do it. No, I don't want to do it. I want to stay the same. Is that not complaining too?
I don't know how to answer
Unfortunately,
that.
sometimes that's just people don't want to grow. People are afraid of change. People are afraid of doing something different. People are afraid of what they don't understand or what they don't know. So that's just kind of par for the course on this app.
Or their life situation could put them on the total opposite end of the spectrum. Y'all got to remember, we got people from each side of the spectrum on here in so many different aspects. A good example of that is kind of crazy though, but you know what I'm saying? We talk about Diddy, but the same person that Diddy shot in the face is on this app. So you got to understand, when we make stories about that, clearly that's going to affect that person. So we just got, I don't know, grace is the only thing I can say. That's the only word I can think of because everybody on this app is not right. But you got to show people grace to a certain point until you don't have to show them grace no more.
Yeah, facts. Very much fact. And there's certain topics that, sometimes you have to hear what you don't want to hear. Like, point blank, period. There's certain topics that you may not agree with. There's certain topics that might offend you. But at the end of the day, everybody's learning on here something, whether it's ignorance, whether it's educated, somebody's learning something every day.
That's
You know
the
what I
thing.
mean?
That's the thing that Fran was saying though. If you let the topic affect you, that's not your space. You should bounce.
Yeah, for sure. For
Right.
sure. Like I said, I was playing devil's advocates and playing for the other people that might actually be, because there was people in the comments storming her too.
You
But
got to
you know what? Let me
understand.
say this real quick, and then I'm gonna stop. This issue is also TikTok's issue because they have the ability to be able to go into this program and separate stuff by age groups where a person that's not
Mhm.
18 won't even ever see any of our conversations, and they don't do that, and that's an easy fix.
You got to understand. People be on this app and say what they say because they don't know you guys. So people can say what they want to say.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
fact.
they wouldn't do it in your face or anything like that. So it's not about bullying. We
Whoa.
adults. You deal with it. If you can't deal with it, then you just move on. Stroll somewhere else. Go somewhere else where you feel, if that's what you want to feel, called safe. Because TikTok is not safe on nobody's page.
Also, if we're gonna keep it a stack again, some of y'all adults get bullied by y'all bosses. So what's the difference? And y'all don't say nothing to them because
Facts.
you can't say nothing to them in some situations. And if you do say something, maybe you don't get the results that you get, and then you constantly ask for a raise, and then you don't get that raise, and they give you the runaround. That's bullying. So I mean,
Yeah, answering to a job every day, answering to somebody telling you what to do every day, and sometimes their deliveries are terrible. Because I know my boss, ooh,
Horrible.
sometimes I have to take a step back. But
Let me tell y'all something. Documentation. Document.
oh, for sure.
Document everything you think you feel you have an issue with. All of that. Because eventually, at some point, you're going to have to make a decision. And if you try to make that decision empty handed, you're not going to get nothing out of it. But if you got something in your hand, it ain't got to be all of it. If you just have enough, they'll do the most appropriate thing for their bottom line, which is try to get rid of you, which is take care of the issue.
Always keep a paper trail.
Facts.
I got a union job, baby. Good morning, Ms. Don, and the panel and commentator.
Good
How
morning.
y'all doing this morning?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good.
Good morning, everyone. Diamond, how you doing? Been a while, and thank you for letting me come on your platform. That girl, which is on the bottom, she's
Yeah.
a strong woman. The platform we be on, we talk about passport bros, and we have some passport bros that come into the live and they come on the panel and they speak. For women, you have to be strong-minded because these guys is like tough, They do anyone know what a passport bro is? If you don't, I'll tell you. A passport bro could be a brother, African American or Caucasian guy that go overseas and mess with women over there because they feel like the women in America is not nothing. And when they on their platform,
Are you a passport, bro, Edward?
no, I'm not. No. So I'll be on a panel and I'll be talking to them. I disagree with them. It turns into a debate and they go after the women, So you have to be strong. And like the brother said, if you can't take it, come off the platform, come out of the live because they be going in,
Yeah.
I mean, passport bros are dweebs to me, but that's just me. Like,
Yeah, and they come for everything. And
And there's one particular guy, he comes after that girl, but she's a strong girl. She holds on. She speak her mind too, and she go back at him. So yeah, it's a tough platform to be on, and that's how they feel. They be like, yo, the women in America, we don't mess with them, this and that. We love them, but we can't marry them. Like how you gonna love them but not marry them? Like it's crazy. So
Ms. Don,
Yes, Mikey.
Ms. Don, we got a topic yet?
Of course we do.
What's the topic?
I just wasn't being rude and interrupting. I was just letting them get it all out.
I'm done.
That's fine. That's fine.
I'm
That's
done.
fine.
Yeah.
I was just asking, that's all. That's fine.
But the reason I brought that up is because the young lady that was on it earlier saying, don't let people bully you, whatever. You human. Words hurt. If I say, well, if a person call me fat, this and that, they ain't gonna bother. That's not gonna bother me. But if they know my personal, if they know my personal business and they start talking that stuff, I'm gonna be very upset on a live. I never told them before. So words do hurt. So you can't say, oh, don't let them bother you, this and that. That's why they call it cyberbullying, because words do hurt. And like I said, the platform I'm on, you have to be a strong woman, a strong man, because they go after the men too. Oh, y'all kids, y'all boys, and this and that and that. And we go up there, we talk back to them. They come like,
Can I drop down and come back up?
Somebody said in the comments they only
That's-
hurt
that's-
sensitive people.
Host, can I drop down and come back up? I think my mic is, or
So,
is there two people
yeah.
speaking?
What you say? I hear you, Diamond.
Comments they only hurt sensitive people.
I am. I'm learning though. And you have to have tough skin on here, and it's a learning process. It is definitely a learning process. I've been wanting to to have a platform, but people can be treacherous on here, so you have to definitely have tough skin.
Okay. You got people that Monet, would you like to say something? If not, I'm a.
Oh no, I'll drop down for this one.
Okay.
I'll wait until the other one.
All right. I'm assuming when y'all came in the box, y'all had something.
I'll go down. I just wanted to commend you and thank you and keep doing what you're doing. Let the haters hate, honey. Just continue to do you. Y'all have a blessed day, everybody.
Have a good one.
Yeah, I got to get going too, but I do appreciate your platform and I appreciate what you do. So I just wanted to step up and say something about what we talked about earlier. So I'll drop down. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you.
Good morning, Diamond. Are we on part 2 of yesterday or is it something else?
We about to go into part 2 of yesterday.
Okay, I'll wait until you say what you're going to say.
Baps, you got something you want to say?
Not at all. I'm waiting on the topic.
We're going into part 2 from yesterday. Yesterday we were talking about colorism. And there were a lot of you guys that wanted to speak on colorism. A lot of y'all didn't get a chance to speak. When I ended my live, I had about I want to say about eight more people down in the queue that was trying to get in the box. So I said that I would resume the live today, y'all, and give everybody an opportunity to speak on colorism and what people go through and tell their stories. Some people are going to understand, some people are not. Some people are some people can relate, some people can't. Okay. So.
Okay, y'all want me to start? I'll start because I just wanted to drop down yesterday. I was trying to talk to the lady. I forgot her name, up in the left corner next to Zodiac. And she was talking about how she, as a light-skinned person, I think that was her or the one above who was at me, was bullied because of, called it colorism because she was teased by the darker skinned girls. I don't want to call that colorism. It's just something that happened, but I never really experienced it except for by boys who liked me when I was growing up. Look at you, Mellow Yellow or something. But girls never did that to me and my sisters. Like I was saying yesterday, my grandmother, even though she was my great grandmother, even though she was so light, till she worked in a store and they never asked her was she black or you know what, where you couldn't be black working there, and she worked there for a while. She never worked when we was born. These are stories we would talk to her about when we got older, like almost teenagers. And she never told us not to play with, you know, dark people. And they used to call the girls with no hair and they have a ponytail like it's a rat. I don't know. I'm trying to say this. My great grandmother was so light till she passed and married the darkest man she could find because she had a dislike for YT people. So she tried her best to marry someone that she didn't. I guess I can honestly say, she never said this, but I can honestly say she didn't like her skin because her mother was a product of a slave. You understand? Am I making sense, y'all?
I'm kind. Yeah, I'm listening.
What I'm saying is, I don't believe that us people of light texture can really experience colorism like browner people do. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So when it was
light-skinned people cannot experience colorism like dark-skinned people can.
Right. I don't believe that. Okay. But like I said yesterday, my great grandmother allowed us to play with anybody, any color, any spectrum. It was nothing to us until, I'm going to tell you, I really didn't know much about that colorism thing until my grandmother used to always, not my great grandmother now, it's my grandmother, used to always say, put a hat on. Don't you be going out there in that sun. We're like, is she out of her damn mind? You know, it's hot as heck. It's 90-something degrees. And we never knew why she would say that. We thought maybe because of heat stroke or something, but then we found out what it was about as we got older. And we was like, what? But we were not raised to distinguish, make people feel less than. That's what I'm trying to say. In the 60s and 70s, we were not raised that way. But there were families who did not allow their children to play with darker skinned children.
I've never heard of that other than from like YT people. Like they wouldn't let them play with like black people, but I ain't never heard light skinned people.
Yeah, like whether you were fair skinned or dark skinned, you're still playing.
So
I really not where we lived at in Virginia. Maybe up north or something. I'm just telling you my experience.
I'm from the South.
That's all.
I'm from the South.
Yeah, but you're very young.
I think from a societal standpoint, like when we think about colorism, it does only affect dark-skinned people because again, we have and there's no such thing as reverse colorism. So all these light-skinned people saying that y'all have experienced colorism, what you guys have experienced is anti-blackness and bullying, which is not right, but that's what that is.
I agree.
So it's looking from like again, because it's so ingrained in our society, we do it all the time. We have all these jokes about dark-skinned people. The jokes that that are made about light-skinned people, about them being considered light bright, those are considered positive things. Like when we talk about somebody who is dark-skinned, we call them African booty scratchers. We call them, turn the light out, we can't see them. That type of mentality.
Now y'all call them roaches.
Yeah. What about Zodiac? What about light-skinned men though? Because you know,
when we think of light, we think of good. When we think of dark, we think of bad. That is
Yeah.
ingrained in us. It's ingrained
Very
in cartoons. It's ingrained in The Lion King, for instance. Everything the light touches is good. The hyenas were bad. Scar was bad. That whole
everything in
that
dark.
you must
Yeah.
never go to that dark place, Simba. Like literally, that is ingrained in. That's just an example of some of the things that are ingrained in our society.
Yeah.
When we
No,
think of light, when we think
I
of light, we think of
definitely,
good. When we
I
think of
definitely
white,
agree
when we think
with
of white,
you.
we think of good. When we think of dark, we think of bad. We think of ugly. We think of
Yeah.
scary, disgusting. That's so
Yeah.
those two associations. When you think of light and dark, you have those two different things. So again, and that whole trope about light-skinned men being
Yeah.
sensitive and that. See, I understand that perspective, but that would be considered maybe
Is that
homophobia.
anti-black, or what would you consider it then? Like
Saying that they
do
sassy
a
and
lot of people
sensitive
do.
and they like that. That'd be
Yeah.
homophobia. I would think that would be homophobia.
Yeah, that's true. They do use different insults. I'd agree. I think they really I think they really bully their masculinity than anything.
So I have a question then. Do y'all think there's a mixed up when you compare someone else preferences to being a colorist?
Wait, what?
A lot
Can you say that
of
again?
preferences
hear
are
him.
rooted
Say that
in
again?
colorism.
Can you say that again, Babs?
Yeah, I was saying, do you think there's a difference when you compare someone else preference to being a colorist?
It all stems from the same thing, in my
I
opinion.
don't think so.
Yeah.
Because why do you have that preference?
Yeah. Why do
Yeah.
you know?
A lot
Why
of
do you have
times
to
it's
have a
rooted in
preference?
colorism.
I
Why do
gotta
I
say
feel like
preference.
people
why do you
use
have
that
to
as
have I
an
have to have a light
escape.
bright,
Like,
or
oh,
I
it's
have to
just
have
my
a dark skin
preference.
man?
No, it's
What
there's
is
a
it? It's like predatorial almost. It's almost like a YT woman saying, "Oh yeah, I only date black men."
What Shar just said, preference is not exclusion. So when we think of exclusion, like preference is an exclusion. So if your exclusion is just, hey, you know what? I only date light-skinned women. Like that would be considered colorist. Like
Yeah.
that is a form of colorism.
And we
From
hear
a
that
black
out of a
person,
lot of
like
black men.
Zodiac.
Only. And the key word is only.
And we hear
That's what
that out of a
is.
lot of black men's mouths saying, "Oh, dark skinned women are this, that, and the third. I would never date a dark skinned woman. They argue too much.
They're
do
loud,
this,
they're loud, they're aggressive. That
PR.
trope is attached to dark
Yeah.
skinned men, dark skinned women. That's what that's attached to.
Literally.
I've
And that's
heard
what
like
have y'all seen that interview or whatever with Kodak Black? It was a while ago, a couple of years
Yeah,
ago.
I saw
When he
that.
was talking
Yeah.
about he don't want a woman his color, dark skin, because they too hard, they too rough. Like,
But that's
which is
projection though,
not
because
true.
what some of those men deal with growing up about, them being bullied by other people about their dark skin and the jokes that were made, and they're like, yeah, you know what? I don't want my child to be dark skinned because I don't want them to experience what I experienced. So that's another, tied to that as well.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still anti-blackness. It's still self-hate.
Difference between
I definitely have experienced colorism my whole entire life, and yeah, like
The reason
when my skin complexion.
You're breaking up a little bit. You're breaking up a little bit.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna drop.
Okay, hold on. I think it's
on
my
and off.
fan. Hold on.
I
Okay,
talk
all right,
on
let me.
these. I talk on these young panels because I do have a 25-year-old son. So when I'm confused of something, I do go to him and talk to him and stuff like that. And it depends on how like different places, areas have different dances and style and stuff like that at different times. It's like they look at certain things differently than some of the questions I ask them. Is not the same, answers or the same perspective as some of the people on TikTok. And I guess that has to do with wherever you're from or where you grew up.
Can someone can someone I think Zodiac, someone just mentioned that doll experiment again. What is the name of it? There's actual
I forgot the name of it. I forgot the name of it.
Yeah, it's too early right now. But somebody had mentioned
You
that.
talking about the doll experiment where they had the white doll and the black doll?
And the black doll and chose which one was better than the other one. That's ingrained too.
I think another ingrained thing before I'll let you go. Another ingrained thing also stems from our psychology and our history as well. If you guys didn't know, the founding father of psychology only operated on
Y'all
darker
didn't let
skin.
Kit Kat. Y'all didn't let Kit Kat finish. I don't
Oh,
think Kit Kat finished.
My bad.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
You can finish up what you're saying. Go ahead. Thank
Yeah,
you
no,
in the comments
the,
though. Can you
yeah,
guys
I
hear
was
me
just
better?
adding to the colors part. The founding father of gynecology is a white man, of course, and he only did his testing experiments on darker skinned women because he felt as though they didn't feel pain and things along those lines. So this is like a perpetuating cycle, and we have those women that were back in those days that seen that and kind of went with it as well. So I agree with I forgot who said what they said, but Kit Kat.
Yeah, no, I know that Black women, period, experience um mistreatment with like healthcare and stuff like that, but colorism is still alive and well in those spaces. I was just saying that I've experienced colorism forever, and I've experienced people saying that they don't date dark skinned girls, or they don't date girls darker than them, or they think that dark skinned girls are masculine. And even when I have dated people, multiple times I've been told like, oh well, I usually don't date dark skinned girls, but, or, you're cute for a dark skinned girl. Every dark skinned girl, I think, has heard that. These are not compliments. So if you're still using these, like, they're not compliments. A lot of time, I feel like either I feel discrimination or discriminated against or judged or whatever for being dark skinned, or I feel fetishized and sexualized, and now I'm chocolate this and chocolate that. And I'm not one of those people who really trip hard on us describing ourselves with things like that. I know a lot of people do, so I don't want to offend, but at the same time, it's just like, I don't know, it's different. It's not playful. It's just like it's gross. It's gross. So that's what I was saying. But yeah,
Why do you guys think that it's dark skinned men are fetishized and dark skinned women are kind of slandered?
Good morning, Diamond. Good morning, Panel.
Well, that
I
would
think it
go
has
into
to do with
patriarchy.
masculinity aspect. I'm sorry, mommy. I think it has to do with the masculinity aspect. I'm just gonna say that. I think that dark skinned men or dark skin is associated with masculinity, like being tough and all this other stuff. And I feel like for a man, those are good attributes, but for a woman, not so much.
And also, you got to think about it's a sexualization too, like Mandingo or whatever, like Black men, darker men are packing more. So you got to think about that aspect too.
Yeah. I wanna chime in really quick. Y'all all have amazing points. I'm just a little still stuck on yesterday with one of our fellow panelists where after pointing out that they have been centering themselves, their go-to was to tell me that I just don't love myself. I need to
Oh,
love myself
yeah,
more, which
I
is
remember that.
also rooted in colorism, because
Mhm.
there's the implication that because I'm pointing out, colorist rhetoric that I, a dark-skinned Black woman, must not love myself. And we see that happen a lot. Whenever people are getting into disagreements, the first insult is to tell darker skinned women they just need to love themselves more, that they're not a beautiful, they're not these. Those things are projections. Because somebody pointing out a system doesn't mean that they don't love themselves. So I just wanted to point that out as well. Another issue yesterday that y'all was missing was the conversation of intersectionality, which came.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on, Alex. You guys, okay. So they just paid for Friends with Attitude to come back in the box. Also drop also for her to come back in the box too. Friends with Attitude and drop.
I'll leave, Diamond. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
But no, I was saying that
too, because she give out love. I like that.
A lot of conversation that kept going back and forth. It's because a lot of Black people don't understand intersectionality, which is not necessarily a fault, because a lot of these things are newer terms. But Kimberly Crenshaw is the one that coined the phrase intersectionality. And a lot of, like, for example, my intersection could be I'm a dark-skinned Black woman with disabilities. So if we tie those things in more, we are able to, I guess you could say, abolish or dismantle whatever, however you see fit these systems. Because everybody keeps saying, what's the solution? The solution is for everybody to see each other's intersections. Zodiac's life is completely different from mine. Char's is different from Javon's. If we all black, y'all be wanting to put a band-aid over real system. And that's why we're not going nowhere.
Might be a TikTok thing. It's not me, I know for sure. Check your information with TikTok. Uninstall the app.
Yeah, I have to agree with the intersectional oh, I'm struggling this morning, y'all. My bad. I am an educated black woman. But yeah, I definitely agree with that. Being a dark-skinned lesbian woman comes with its perks too. We'll say perks. But you know, it does have a lot to do with other factors that play into it. And it's not just being dark skinned. It's okay, what else do you characterize as you? Are you are you in the LGBTQ community? Like you said, do you have a disability? Are you, there's just a lot. There's a lot.
Intersectionality is just a part of life. People click up on this app all the time. Age groups click up on this app. They click, the biggest click is when you have hate for someone else. That's who put people together more often. Their rancor for someone else. That's what brings people together. Alex, I would appreciate, because it has, what I told you has nothing to do with the color of your skin, honey. I do not see color of skin when it comes to black people. That is not something I focus on. It's your bad attitude, horrible disposition, mean and ugly ways, especially towards me. So just keep my name or any mention of me out of your mouth and we won't have a problem. See, that's what you refuse to do.
I'm not too concerned about the
That's
problem.
what you refuse to do. But I did drop her, Diamond. I did send you $50. Oh, I sent $50 to drop Alexandria. I could have dropped it yesterday, but I'm cool with it. I don't wake up in the morning and worry about what somebody said yesterday, but it must really stunk because it's the truth. That's the problem. It's the truth. That's why you're so hurt about it, because you mentioned it yesterday when I dropped yesterday. Now you back on the same shit again today. Just leave me alone. I don't have an issue with you. Don't make it a problem. Don't make us have a problem.
How do you experience colorism?
I'm just trying to hold on really quick, Javon. First of all, I never mentioned her name. I said a panelist, so she just told on herself.
But you were talking about me, yeah, because y'all not bold enough to say names. Y'all scary. Y'all go behind people back and talk behind their back. Put a name on it.
Please speak.
I know who you were talking about, and everybody else know who you were talking about.
So drop. Hear me out. If you did pay, since you paid to drop Alex, we do have to allow her to have her final words.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
I just find it so funny how she just got up here and she said, when I told you that I didn't consider skin color, while simultaneously telling us a story yesterday about her children and how one is dark, one is light, and the things that she's going through as a lighter skinned woman. But somehow today on March 7th, she wasn't including skin color in the remark that she made towards me. She keeps getting caught.
That's irrelevant.
You're interrupting my final
you like
word.
to scream things and try to make it true. Just because I was telling a story from my experience has nothing to do with me telling you you have a nasty disposition. It's the nasty disposition that's
May I
the
please
problem.
finish, please? I really don't want to. Please allow me to finish. Then you get up here and you brag. I dropped her while I was up here educating. You feel fulfilled. I love that for you. But I mean, you got it. I want you to take my spot and educate the shit out of these people on colorism as a lighter skinned woman. You do your big one. You keep bragging about dropping. Get in where you fit in. Stay black and beautiful black woman. I love the rest of y'all. Happy Women's History Month. Peace out.
The same, it'd be amazing to me that y'all like to tell people things the same way you say, you don't have any friends, you gotta buy friends. You don't even know me, but you're telling me how I live my life. No, I came up here big and bold as shit to tell you I dropped you because I'm gonna put a name on it. I'm not gonna do like you did and just throw slugs in the air and hope somebody catch it. You came up here first thing in the morning, as soon as you opened your mouth and threw a slug at me. Then when I respond, I'm the problem. Maybe you're not being bullied because of colorism. Maybe you just be bullied because you're an ignorant, mean person.
Somebody asked how much it is to bring Alex back.
Let's go, Sweet Yassie, with the subscription, y'all. Check
Isn't
your
it 20?
No, usually 20, honey. I paid 50. So they would have to pay 100.
Check your name.
Can anyone tell me how light-skinned people experience colorism?
Hold on, wait, drop. So drop. Did you pay for friends to come back?
No, I didn't, but I
Was that
will. If
was
she
that
wanna stay, I will. No, I paid to drop Alex.
okay?
Somebody
Because
else may have paid for that. I don't know. I don't know if
no, no,
somebody
no,
else
no,
paid.
no, 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 no. What I'm saying, right? Because I was confused on the. Okay, so you said, see, when you said rest the attitude, I thought you was talking about friends with attitude.
Oh, okay. No, I'll send 50. No,
You
no,
didn't say
no. I'm gonna send the 50 for friends too. I'm gonna send the 50 for friends too.
okay, because you didn't say Alex's name.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry. I thought I said by Alex.
oh yeah,
Save
no.
the attitude. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the confusion. Let me send them 50 for friends.
May I ask, ma'am, is the drop queen, is she a light-skinned woman? Because she don't look light-skinned to me.
Yeah, she's like
She's fair skinned. Yeah, she's very fair skinned.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
okay. Just based off the
Um,
picture, I couldn't tell. My bad.
so we can't choose what color we are. When we're born, we can't ask God, hey, make me a lighter colored person or make me a darker colored person. We just have to accept that. And for the days that we go on through life, we're always going to be subjected to some kind of form of any ism, whether it be colorism, ageism, or any ism. We're always going to go through something. It doesn't matter what it is and how it is.
I want to answer Sauce's question. Light skinned people
I
experience.
can't hear you, Diamond.
no. I was trying to find out who was asleep.
Yeah, somebody was snoring.
Oh, that's my husband, y'all. He's sleeping. He don't get off until
Let him alone.
1 o'clock in the morning. So
Let
he
that
be
man
ignoring
sleep.
me while I be on here with y'all. I be trying to go other places in the room, but the kids got out of school early, so they ain't go. So I'm ignoring everybody.
Okay, I got
Except for
you.
his snores. So don't let that bother y'all. At least he's sleeping good, right? Because some of these people don't even
Period.
sleep. They get straight up and get on this motherfucker and be on some shit.
That's
But
that's they problem. They
can
need
I
some
do one
rest.
thing? Can I do one thing, Diamond? Sauce. I got a lot of respect for you, young man, because you are very smart and intelligent. But I don't ever want you to feel like I'm directing because I told people that I have respect for you. But when you saw that I was getting back up on this panel, you looked a little disgruntled, brother. I don't ever want
It
you
was
to
just
think
the
that I
yelling.
got no problem.
It was
Oh,
just
no,
the
that's
yelling.
just how, honey, I'm like that at home. I'm like that at home. When I'm expressing myself passionately, I'm like that at home. That's just
But
how I
when
express myself. Everybody gonna
That
express
girl, let me go
themselves
take the baby.
how
I got
you do. I'm not you and you not me. I ain't got that whisper mentality about me. I don't give a fuck mentality.
Stay off the
And I
whisper,
never
friends. Leave us whisperers
drop
alone.
you know you my nigga. I tell Diamond everybody that I fuck with know who I fuck with. But I'm just me and I'm passionate about what I say. I feel what I say. It's a difference when you feel what you say and how you say it. You mean what you say. Always remember that when you're speaking, you mean what you say. The reason why I don't work for nobody else and I work for myself because I mean what I say. So I get my ass fired. Now I'm gonna mute up.
Well, wait.
Can I ask a question?
Well, Kokomo was gonna say something, but I want to say something to the people who saying that I'm not light skinned. It's okay. I don't care. I'm okay with whatever skin color I'm in. It's okay. It's okay that I'm not light skinned. I'm
She
okay with that.
definitely red bone. But to answer, yeah, she's a red bone. She red velvet. But okay. I mean, y'all just I don't know. But to answer your question, that light skinned people don't experience colorism, Sauce, yes, they do. When I was in high school, dark skinned girls used to jump light skinned girls all the time. They could be doing nothing, and those girls used to automatically go after light skinned girls.
That's anti-black. That's
That's
anti-black.
anti-black.
That's just
Anti-black.
anti-black.
Okay,
That's
call
just
it
anti-black.
shadism. Call it shadism.
It's not
Coco.
shadism.
Call it
Y'all not
Shadism is
being serious.
colorism.
Y'all not being
It's
serious.
shadism. Shadism is
It's not
colorism. Thank you,
shadism.
Javon.
Y'all not being
It's
serious.
shadism. It's
It's
shadism.
bullying. Okay, so it's
It's
bullying and it's
shadism.
anti.
It's bullying. It's
and it's
bullying by the
anti.
color
Why is
of
it
your skin.
anti-black? Why is it anti-black? Because I mean, these girls ain't
Because
did nothing
if
but
someone
be
is
light
telling
skinned.
It's your own people.
you, if someone is telling you that you are not black enough, or if someone is calling you a light white, or if someone is telling you that you don't look black enough because you have a closer proximity to whiteness, your mother and father didn't choose. Like you didn't get to choose what melanin you were born with or lived with. The only thing here in this conversation, and I do want to have a conversation drop. I know we've had our differences. I ain't trying to be disrespectful. I'm trying to have a serious conversation. I'm curious why light skinned black people feel the need to run to the front of the line when a dark-skinned sister or brother tell y'all their experiences with colorism. A lot of y'all get up from y'all seat and go to the front of the line to give your account of colorism, but your examples are different from theirs. So let me explain. When I hear light-skinned Black people say, I experienced colorism because someone called me a light bright. That's it? Okay. How has a dark-skinned Black person experienced colorism? I've been locked up. I've been called monkey. I've been called roach, ghetto, hood. Black men and women have told me they don't mess with me because I look aggressive. There was a brother that we sat on a panel with, and he said he don't mess with dark-skinned Black women because they too ghetto and ratchet. They always got an attitude. They always look stuck up, right?
But they say that about us light skin.
No, they don't say it in the same breath to light-skinned Black women as they do dark-skinned Black women. Now, in this conversation, we experience racism from white tea people, right? And that's a fact, because it doesn't matter whether we're light-skinned or dark-skinned, we're going to experience racism, period. However, in this conversation, systemically and systematically and historically, light-skinned Black people who are in closer proximity to whiteness, right? When white tea people ask about Black culture, who is more likely that they're going to approach? Me, a light-skinned Black person, or Ms. Diamond, who's a dark-skinned Black person? They're going to approach me. I look more safe to them, right? I don't look as aggressive, even though I'm male presenting. They're going to assume that she's aggressive because of how she looks. She can't control the color of her skin, right? And they do that because of the implicit biases that they have against darker skinned Black people. It doesn't matter, right? When it comes down to our walks of life. As a light-skinned Black woman like yourself, Drop, I'm pretty sure, like, you know, and I've heard this from lighter skinned sisters, like, oh, okay, you know, you've been called a light bright, or you've gotten a certain energy from a darker skinned sister. Have you ever considered asking those darker skinned sisters that you are friends with or you are around, why is it that you treat me a certain kind of way? Because just how a lot of y'all see a lot of us treat white tea people a certain kind of way, and we're very apprehensive around white tea people. Light-skinned Black people do have light-skinned Black people make darker skinned Black people act that way because of colorism. Same thing that goes for ableism. For people who live with a disability are apprehensive about able-bodied people. Why? Because of the historical context with ableism. Same goes for homophobia and transphobia, right? So y'all need to understand, in this conversation, y'all are not those who are oppressed. It is darker skinned brothers and sisters. That's it. I land there.
That's not true. It depends on where you're at. I'm in educated spaces, and I done seen the dark and brown girls click up against the light skinned girls. Or the light skinned person.
So click up. So
allow her to finish. Allow her to finish, please, because I wanted to address Javon because I think he asked me a question.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, like when it comes to white people, they don't care dark
about the skin tone. Exactly.
They don't.
We're talking about that right now. We're talking about within our own community.
Well, no, Javon did bring that up. Javon did bring that up.
About it in a
Javon
whole.
brought it up.
We're talking about it
now.
Javon brought it up.
Wait, Miss Keela, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt. Yes, Drop is correct. I brought that up to make a point, but I do, if Ken after Miss Cook, because I was trying to have a one-on-one, because I want to hear from Drop Queen's perspective, because we've had these conversations a lot of times. Myself, Source, Alexandria, Bratz was on here yesterday. She holds topics on her platform weekly about these conversations, and I feel like darker skinned Black people voices are completely silenced, because I don't think y'all heard Ms. Diamond when she said roach. That roach comment holds weight, because y'all will look at a dark-skinned Black person and assume the absolute worst about them.
But you know, when they call people roach, I never associated that with their skin color.
It's 100% associated with skin.
I never thought that. I thought it was associated with how they thought that person looked, just to be offensive to that person. I'm talking about me. I never associated it with their skin color. But this is a message.
Ghetto.
Right, being ghetto,
so much
not
being
skin color. Exactly.
It's just being ghetto because roach is all together. That's the way they be talking. And when they mean it, they mean it for ice skin in between.
Hold up. So if y'all, if
wait, y'all. Hold on.
Wait 1 second. They just paid for Alex to come back.
Her.
Okay.
Come on back, sis.
Hey, Diamond, I paid 50, so they had to pay 100, right? Because I paid 50. Okay, good. Okay, because I want them to dig it deep in their pockets. But if you look at this message, I have a darker aunt, and she looks so much like Diamond. My aunt looks just like Diamond to me, and I'm gonna get a picture of her and put her up. She's beautiful. I love her. We 5 years apart. I messaged her because she's a darker skinned Black girl, and this is what she told me when I messaged her yesterday when we was having this conversation. I went to everybody in my family, the dark people in my family and the light people in my family, and I asked them the same question. Are you treated differently because of the color of your skin? Would you put that in a big box, Diamond?
Yeah, I would like to read it. If we can.
So my daughter who is very fair skinned, my daughter comes to me almost one day out of the week, and she says, "Mama, people always calling me clear. They always calling me white." My dark skinned children, they never complained about that. My daughter doesn't even complain that they talk about the darker skinned kids at school, but her once a week, my child is telling me, and her heart is broken. My point is not to negate the darker skinned girls' experience or the darker skinned guys' experience. My thing is just like for Black men and Black women who always say we both have a struggle. We're in this struggle together. When I'm sitting up here with these YT people, they don't give a fuck that I'm close to their skin color. They don't want me here. So all I'm saying is we all have our own challenges, but we're all fighting this together.
Now let me say this.
Think that you're fighting it. Okay, go ahead.
Let me say this to you. It's crazy. Now, when I first came to TikTok, and I've never been told, right? Y'all see how I present, right? Like skin brother. I had a Black person tell me that I have a white T parent because of how I look, even though both my parents are monoracially Black. Now, I don't condone any Black person calling light-skinned Black people clear. However, that is bullying and anti-Blackness. No matter which way you flip it, dip it, or reverse it, it is anti-Blackness and it's bullying, right? Now let's use an example of a darker skinned person, right? Being called roach, gorilla, big back. I'm sorry, Ms. Diamond.
They say monkey too.
Yes, they say monkey. And yes, I know y'all gonna say they say monkey to light skinned Black people. Yes, but I most of the time when I hear monkey, it comes from white people to us, not so much other Black people. I really need for us to, if y'all can, to venture into other spaces outside this one that focuses around the topic of colorism. Because as Black people, yes, we are struggling side by side, but that's why intersection is an important concept of a word to introduce, because our intersections are different, like Alex had acknowledged. So my intersection and your intersection are different. I'm a Black cisgender heterosexual man. I'm not going to assume your sexuality drop. If you are heterosexual, please let me know. But your intersection and my intersection are different. As a Black woman, I will never understand your walk of life, right? So I want, like, again, we yes, I will agree there that we struggle side by side. But a lot of, now someone in the comments saying I'm not light skin. Shut the fuck up. Anyways, because half of you motherfuckers don't know what light skin or dark skin is. I'm not.
Jovan, excuse me. Hi.
Yes, ma'am.
Jovan,
Oh,
hey.
that's you. Oh, go ahead.
Hey, Jovan.
Come on.
So look, can you notice that you and Drop are almost the same color? So that would be more fair-skinned, right? For everyone that is saying that Drop is not, Drop is not a lighter skinned person. They are the same color. So she's a lighter skinned person. So she wouldn't be considered as dark skinned like me and Diamond would. But at the end of the day, I really see that being more of a problem in our community because I just watched y'all sit up and argue about the color of drop skin. And I just looked at Javon and they damn near the same color. Make me understand that. And question two, hold on. It's look like sauce. All three of y'all might be that shade of MAC that lighter skinned people put on.
I agree.
You get what I'm saying? So make me understand that. That's one. Two, who generalized roaches as being a dark skin term?
Today's generation.
Because, but see, I thought roaches was for nasty, for trifling, irritating, pesty, ghetto motherfuckers.
No,
Now
I've
listen,
heard.
hold on, wait, let me finish. I don't have a college degree, and nor do I care to. I have trade skills. I make more money. But I still see the same thing. Y'all going off about what color she is compared to a light-skinned woman in our own community. So it makes the other community care that any of that. We are at odds on our own selves about what color we are. Well, damn. Ain't that about a bitch?
So let me ask y'all this question. When we go into the doctor, like when we go to the doctor, do you think the doctor will treat the darker skinned person better than the lighter skinned person, or vice versa?
Depending on what doctor you go to.
I think they treat all black people the same. It's all black people. It's all black people. All of us.
It's not. So when it comes to dark skin, when it comes to dark skinned women, they are the ones that are treated the most harsh when it comes to doctors. When it comes to medical racism, they're the ones that
medical racism are for black people. Period.
If we're looking at a hierarchy, when we're talking about skin complexion, it is dark skinned women who are the most mistreated out of all.
So do y'all not understand? It really doesn't count on color at the doctor. It counts on what insurance you have. It counts on how much money you make. It don't count on skin color.
Who told you that? Respectfully, ma'am.
I know that.
Javon, let me ask one
that.
question.
It counts on what insurance you have. They're gonna treat the person with the best insurance first, not what color they are.
Can I ask this question? Can you imagine? Can I ask one quick question? Exactly. But can I ask one quick question? Can y'all imagine the plight of the women who were in the house called the house Negroes and how they were separated from those who were in the field who were darker? See, y'all want to look at the ones in the field.
Are you aware that dark skinned women?
Can you allow me to finish, Zodiac? I'm talking. Hold on, Zodiac. Just give me just one moment. I'm trying to draw a picture. Do you know how the women in the house who were treated poorly but they were also treated poorly by the black people because they got favored to be in the house?
Skin black women were being great too.
I know, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about by the black people. How the field Negroes treated the house Negroes because they thought the house Negroes thought that they were better. They mistreated and excluded them from the black experience because now you're a house nigger. Oh, Negro, I'm sorry. You're not one of us. You're not one of us because you're lighter skin. So that's what I'm trying to get you to see, that those who were in the house were treated differently because they're not seen as one of them.
So the real thing is that there were dark skinned women, there were dark skinned men, there were light skinned women and light skinned men in the house, and they were all treated in the sense they were all treated the same when it came to the grape, when it came to the mistreatment.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about amongst black people.
And there was light skinned people.
You're missing the point. I'm talking about amongst black people by the other black people.
So wait, hold on. Wait. I want to get clarification on what Ms. Drop is saying. So what you're saying is, are you saying that dark skinned black people got the better treatment or the worse treatment?
No. I'm saying they both got bad treatment, but lighter skinned black people in the house were not included in the black experience with those in the field by the black people in the field.
She trying to say that the dark-skinned black people treated the light-skinned people.
So what she's saying is
that's what I'm saying.
So what she's saying is dark-skinned people treated the light-skinned people worse.
So when you're speaking of the household, do y'all know that some
Here we go.
families have treated their light-skinned children better than
Oh,
dark
I'm one of them, Diamond. I'm one of them. I'm one of them. My grandmother treated me different because I was darker than my cousins. So I know about colorism in real life.
Yeah,
I was talking about during
Our own
slavery. I was
community,
talking
though.
about
It's in our own. It's worse in our own community. Y'all not seeing that?
That's
This
No,
is
I-
really bad in our own community.
but lighter skin, I think, like, again, it goes back to what I said earlier. Lighter skin black people are favored more in society. Like, even Zendaya had to acknowledge, as a black biracial woman, she had to, well, before she even left Disney, she had to press them before she, because they had agreed upon with her to do one more show before she left. She had to force, well, not force, but she had to make them like agree to have her on a black family show. And then with her being in Hollywood, she's also spoke on a lot of the darker skinned black women do not get a lot of the roles that she gets. She gets a lot of the roles because of how she presents, because of how she looks. And a lot of people think that that is how all black biracial people look like her. She gets most of the roles. So like it that Hollywood being another a whole system of how it oppresses people of a darker skin complexion, and we go to other areas, the medical field as well.
And speaking of Zendaya, right? Latinos go through this in their community as well.
Colorism affects literally every part of the world. If we're going to be honest, it affects the Asian community, it affects Latino community, it affects the black community. It's literally across any aspect of anybody who is dark skin complected, and that racial, I mean, that color hierarchy, when we talk about shades, that's important. It's important in some countries, how they look at it. They'll treat anybody who's dark skinned worse. If you are light skinned, you have a.
Can I say something after you, Zodiac?
Yeah.
Okay. Can y'all mute and wait till I finish saying this before you jump in?
Wait, I don't
know
think he was done.
My apologies. My
You
apologies.
good, bro. You good. What I'm saying is that colorism affects every part of the world, and on top of that, if we're just talking about just us as black people, we can say that colorism is a direct effect of white supremacy. It has direct ties with white supremacy, so we have to include that as well. If we don't, then we're never going to understand where colorism comes from in the first place. And then when we were talking about when y'all said that dark skinned people weren't in the house. Like y'all said that dark skinned women that weren't in the house, they were just in the fields. They were in the house too.
That's not what I said. So
wait,
I'm sorry. That's not what I said or implied.
Okay.
Can I say something really quick?
What she was saying is that lighter skinned people, I think you said they weren't immersed in the black culture as the darker skin. Yeah, the black experience. But go ahead, Alex. My bad.
I just want to say a couple things to remember in these conversations of colorism is to make sure that if we are not the ones being affected by it on a day-to-day basis, to not center ourselves in these convos respectfully, just as we would not want a YT person centering themselves in a convo of racism. Number two, I looked at 2 articles already, and medical racism does exist. We know that they treat darker skinned people worse. They treat black people worse in the hospitals based off pigmentation, but YT people are very aware of colorism, which means if they are able to say that you're light and you're dark, then they're going to treat you just as such. So saying that darker skinned people don't have worse treatment is incorrect. And then
I can't agree with that because I've never had bad treatment.
I understand, but your individual experience does not speak for the masses or the collective. So same thing that I explained to Drop earlier, her explaining to us, well, my child goes through this. That's an individual statement. We're talking a collective, a system, and those things matter.
I'm talking collective, what light-skinned women go through. I'm telling from the experience of light-skinned women. That's what I'm saying.
No, but you
I'm
were
not
talking
just
about
about
your
my daughter.
experiences
No.
and your
That's
daughter's
why I brought up the slavery
and
and
your family's
how
experiences, but that's just your family.
I'm talking about even in slavery. I'm trying to get y'all to see the picture of how the women who were in the home were treated poorly or badly or shunned by the people in the field because they were in the home.
How you know?
But Sky has been waiting. Sky, now he dropped. Sky has been waiting a while.
Yeah, but you got again like they okay. So imagine you gotta wake up early in the morning, right, and slave over the field in the hot ass southern sun or hot ass northern sun. You as a light skinned person most likely didn't have to go through that. Not saying that light skinned black people wasn't on the field, but if you're in the house, most likely you're taking care of Massa, Massa's wife, and Massa's children, right? We talk about tropes like the mammy trope and the Sambo trope, right? And other ways. So the darker skinned black people were more envious of the lighter skinned black people in the house because they got better treatment than they did. They fucked up, they got lashes, right? For darker skinned black men, especially they were bigger, darker skinned black men, they were tied to trees and they were beat mercifully.
The light skin too, though. All of us.
But that's I understand that, right? Like I get what you're saying. But what I'm saying in this conversation is that as lighter skinned black people, whether we want to agree to it or not, or okay it or not, we we do not experience colorism. It is a problem within black people. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I didn't want to interrupt you,
I
bro.
really wanted to hear what Sky was saying, but he's gone.
I just want to give
we
you the
could come
definition.
back.
Can we get the definition of what colorism is? Because I got the definition right here.
Hold on, let me
Prejudice.
see.
We I think we up here know what colorism is, but
Some of
we
y'all
want
don't.
to.
No
we
matter
want to
how many
kick,
times you read that, they still gonna have their own.
we want to cook
definition.
shade. We want to kick shadeism out of the conversation. See,
That's
that's
not
what we
really
want to
a
do. We want
Can
to
I-
focus on. It's a word. Shadeism
What
is a
what
word.
dictionary?
Let me.
Out of-
Okay, so here's the dictionary, right? This is Oxford.
That's
All right, this is
Wikipedia.
Oxford. This is Oxford. All right, prejudice or discrimination against individuals with dark skin tone, typically among people of the same ethnic or racial group. So, prejudice or discrimination against individuals with a dark skin tone. There's no reverse of that. If I type in
looking at
reverse
that too,
colorism,
Sky.
nothing's gonna come up.
Also, the paperback test
Also,
was a
I
thing.
got a cash out message. Somebody said it should be more dark. It should be more dark skinned women on the panel.
And speaking, I was trying to be nice about it, but
I could drop.
I'm just gonna get called rude for saying it. So I'm
No,
glad
I,
somebody called me back.
I'll
Alex,
give my
you
I'll
do
give
need
my
your-
box up, Miss Diamond, to our darker skinned sister or brother. I appreciate the conversation. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good
Nah, that was terrible. That was terrible. That was colorism at its best. That was messed up.
Exactly. So
That
we-
was that was
Wait,
very
beep
messed
beep,
up.
you turn. How was that colorism? Hold on. Before I drop.
Because at the end of the day, just because you're a lighter brown person don't mean you don't have an opinion like everyone else and you're not knowledgeable about the conversation that's going on.
That was just respect. He was just showing respect to give representation.
No,
to
I
dark
wasn't
skin.
talking to him. See, this is once again, I'm talking about the Cash App message. Come on now, this is what I be talking about. It don't take five of y'all. It don't take five of y'all. It don't take five of y'all. It don't.
She was talking about the cash app.
I was actually taking up for Javon. I was saying that was wrong. The Cash App message was wrong. Maybe I need to generalize stating what I mean before I say something because y'all take things and run with it.
I was gonna say, friends. So when I'm getting
you black.
Well,
you
yeah,
black,
yeah,
just like
always black. But like, I'm trying to see how I can get through to y'all because, like I said, it don't got nothing to do with age, but it's we have different generations up here, right? We have the Gen Z, we have the millennials, and we also have Gen Z up here. I mean, I'm sorry, Gen X. I said Gen Z twice. My bad. We have Gen Xers, we have millennials, and Gen Z is up here, and some people who may or may not be Generation Alpha. I am trying to not so much reason, but I'm trying to get the older generations to understand their hand, especially older black people, their hand in colorism. Because even darker skinned black people can internalize colorism because it's been done on to them for so long. They start to have and adopt the idea that they are lesser than because of the color of their skin. So for a lot of us lighter skinned black people, we don't maneuver the same. Our oppression may be similar, but we do not maneuver the same. So as I said, I will never understand the plight or the walk of life of a black woman because I am not a black woman. I am not a black queer woman. I'm not a black trans woman. I'm not a black bisexual woman. I'm not a black lesbian woman. So in these different intersections that I've named off, their plight and their walk of life is very much different than mine. So I don't understand why we are assuming or thinking in any way that lighter skinned black people are experiencing colorism, even with the Cash App message, right? I get that it could be, taken as disrespect. Cool. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. That's the message that was saying that they don't see someone that looks like them on a panel having a voice of reason, right? They want to see more. They want to see more people on here that are darker skinned. I ain't gonna fight it. And Miss Diamond want to read it, she gonna read it. You know what I mean? But like I said, I know there's a lot of people waiting. I will drop my box for a darker skinned brother and sister. I appreciate everybody. Y'all all have a good day.
You too, Devon.
You know what? When we look at the
darker
modeling
skinned brother.
industry of Black people, do y'all know that it's more often that a model is more successful by the darker tone of her skin? Even Tyra Banks had to say that it was hard for her to get into modeling because she wasn't dark enough. So all I'm saying is we all have a fight in this. It's just all about Black people, and they just use our color to further separate us. The same way I was trying to explain that they tried to separate us, have the light-skinned house Negroes against the field Negroes and the field Negroes against the light-skinned house Negroes.
So I got a
But
question.
it's
Do we
giving,
fight
it's
to use the
giving like
colors in the
every,
crayon
it's
box?
giving like
Do we fight to
y'all
use
gotta
the
give
colors
other
in the
people a
crayon
chance to
box?
talk.
anybody else talk.
Y'all gotta
You've
give
been
other people a
talking
chance
too,
to talk.
sweetheart.
Girl,
You've been
you've been
talking a lot.
talking a lot.
Do we
I
fight
barely
to
been able
use
to
the
talk.
colors in the crayon box? Y'all
Why
fighting
you
You
have
us.
got
such a
people,
bad
you got
attitude?
people up here that haven't
I
spoke their
don't have a
opinion
bad
yet.
attitude.
You do. Like, you kind of rude.
That's your opinion, and I'll be
It
rude.
is, and
I'll
I'm
be whatever I
stating
am,
it.
and I'll
This is,
appreciate it,
hey,
but it
hey,
ain't gonna
hey,
change
hey,
nothing.
hey.
So good morning, and continue doing what you're doing.
Hey, you know what?
Coco, wait,
You know,
wait. So Coco, did you get a chance to say something? Because I do, Killer. I'm gonna have to rotate you in Coco.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, because I'm in the car. Like I said, I'm a medical professional, and I see it once the patient gets to the OR, I don't have anything to do with the insurance. They treat all Black people poorly when it comes to the medication dose and their pain level. They treat them all the same.
That's
which is
racism,
bad.
Coco. That's racism.
Yeah,
Honey.
yeah, that's racism. Now, as far as the insurance, when they come in, I don't know about that part because I really never really worked front desk a lot. But what I was saying is that light skinned people do experience colorism against darker and brown skinned females. Now, I consider myself dark skinned. Some people say I'm brown skinned, but the way I got over being treated differently is that I weaponized my education. And then that gave me leverage in a lot of spaces, and then so it's non-existent now because I guess I don't pay attention to it because I'm at a place where, again, I've weaponized my education so long, it doesn't matter. So that's all I got to say. I got an appointment, so I'm going to go ahead on and drop Miss Diamond, and then I'll come back after my appointment is done. If you don't mind. Thank you.
Okay.
Hey, I want to say this right here. I'm going back on the certain things I heard, made me shake my head because but you know what? The young people up here, I'm very proud of you for being educated because some of y'all points are very, very, very great. But it is a such thing as economic racism. I hope y'all know that. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. It is a such thing as economic racism. Don't act like that don't exist. It does exist, right? And then I heard one more thing that I have to correct. I heard y'all people say that we worst on our own people. You better not compare what the YT people that done to us because of the color of our skin. Don't never say that.
please don't ever say that again.
I'm gonna say it because we are.
Hold on, friend. Let me land my plane. Because we're talking about people judging people on the color of their skin. Yeah, we say names, and yeah, you may get, talked about because you're a favorite because you're light skinned or whatever. But we haven't done nowhere worse than what the YT people has done to us because of the color of our skin. Don't never say that. I hate when people say that. I hate, don't say that we worse than the YT people because of the color of our skin. Do not. Okay, sis. I love your hair, sis.
Thank you, but I want to say something.
Go ahead, beautiful.
So you don't think that you don't think we drag each other in our community and tear each other down? Really?
Are we strictly talking about because of the color of our skin? Are we talking about?
No. We're talking about colorism in our community.
Okay, this is what I'm saying. We're still talking about the color, right? We can't say that YT people did way worse to us because of the color of our skin, right? I'm not saying that we don't tear each other down. Yes, I agree with that part. But we haven't even touched what YT people has done to us. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So from a systemic basis, yeah, like I understand, yeah, white people have disenfranchised black people, people of color, and the indigenous community on a global and massive scale. But when we talk about our own community, we do put our own down. We're the ones that are saying a lot of times are saying the colorist things to each other, calling each other gorillas, calling each other monk. We do that. We do. We're not going to negate the fact that we do that to our own people. But from a systemic basis, yeah, 100%. I agree with you, Zoe. But when we talk about our own, when we talk about putting our own down, we definitely do all day.
I mean, I agree with that. I agree with that. But I heard somebody in here say we do it worse than YT. You get what I'm saying?
Not what I said.
I'm not saying it was you.
It was me. No, it was me. I said we treat each other way worse. It was me. I said it, but I didn't say anything about the YT people. I said we treat ourselves that bad, and how do we expect the white people to respect us the way we need to get the respect from how they treated us back then? But right now, we're treating each other way worse than they ever did.
So hold on one second, y'all. Hold on one second. Somebody had sent me a Cash App message. Someone said, I am in the hallways today, Diamond. Have a wonderful day. You do the same, babe. Someone also said, can we pay to skip the line?
What can you do? What now?
Pay to skip the line.
What that is?
Don't worry about it. So, and y'all know y'all about to set another trend. I just want y'all to know that. Y'all know y'all about to set another trend. So I will say this. When y'all pay to skip the line, put your TikTok name in the message. Okay? Put your TikTok name in the message so I'll know who to bring up. And yeah, the lie, because they about 15 deep right now.
Oh, let me go, sis. I love the hair, sis. I want to tell you that young people on here, man. I'm glad that y'all even have educated yourself on this topic right here. This is dope. Friend, I don't be arguing with nobody, but love y'all. Be safe. I gotta go.
They want to know in the comments, why do you call people silverbacks?
Oh God, I'm not going through this no more, sis. It's a joke.
Do you still be doing it though?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I be joking.
Diamond, can I ask a question?
And Silverback, really, hold on, friend, hold on. And Silverback it's not really because you got a big back.
Because let me tell you something. You got Silverback, you got Big Back. Y'all do know some people feel some type of way when y'all call people that name, right?
Tell them to get out their feelings and grab their balls. because I don't know y'all. It's y'all didn't stop being so damn sensitive, man. This is what's
They
wrong.
in the comments though,
I said that earlier.
In the comments, they're saying silverbacks are apes.
Again, you kind of disproving the point.
So they're not
yes.
Zoe, you kind of proving the point.
Gorillas.
Thank you, Zodiac.
Zoe, you kind of proving the
So
point.
that was even better.
Zoe, you kind of proving the point. Zoe, you kind of proving the point, though.
Zodiac,
you see what I'm saying?
Zodiac.
I know it's a
This
joke.
go way back. This go before
It's
your
a
time.
joke.
Bro.
But you just said
joke,
so
but
that
we
you
just
still do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's proving what I said though.
It's a joke to some, but again, there's historical context with us being called monkeys and gorillas and porch this and porch that. That's associated with
But they call light-skinned people monkeys too.
I'm
Yeah,
not
but
talking
it's
about
still
dark skin. We're
proving
not
my
talking
point.
about dark skin or light skin. I'm just talking
Exactly.
about
Okay, Tink Tinks. Okay, Tink Tinks.
But at some point really does have to stop though. It really
how
does.
come I got a question? How come somebody that likes to have a rebuttal to what somebody says, is that an argument? That's not an argument. It's just having a rebuttal. I have my opinion just like you. Just like you say silverbacks is not a bad thing. It's a good thing.
No,
for
I
you.
didn't say it's not a bad thing.
Well, then we're telling you we don't like
it's a joke.
it.
And but I'm really talking about is your back.
Us big backs don't like it.
In a way, you're carrying the tropes of white people that talk about us and that show. I'm keeping it real. We got to keep it real.
It's fun till the rabbit got the gun, right? It's fun till the rabbit got the gun.
Y'all gonna let me talk? Y'all gonna let me talk? Because I ain't scared of none of you
Zoe.
All right, go
motherfuckers.
ahead and talk.
The silverbacks have a color, or is that for every skin tone can be a silverback? Or
Yeah,
just dark
because
skin?
the YT could be a silverback. I didn't call a few YTs a silverback.
I don't see silver white tea people backs in the zoo though. They black.
Have you ever seen a albino gorilla?
They ain't got no silver back though.
They got a whole movie called Rampage with
ain't no silverback. It ain't no silverback though.
I'm not trying to be racist.
That is a silverback.
I'm not trying to be racist.
I don't see no silver, but
you can't be. We're black.
Well, prejudice. You're right.
So I got to catch that message. Someone said, "Why are y'all so damn sensitive? Damn crybabies."
Hey, but Zodiac, the point that I was making is YT people are closer to gorillas and apes genetically than black people are. So that shouldn't be an offense to us. We're not the gorillas and apes. I just wanted to put that in there.
But the caricatures that were made during Jim Crow and during those tropes are still made to this day.
Because we were ignorant, being told that we came from them. So but that's not the truth. So that's
I agree. I agree.
Yeah,
Some white people do, thin lips, like
genetically, they are the apes, not us.
So I got another message. They say, so we picking and choosing disrespect and harmful words. Everyone guilty of the disrespect.
This is what the comedian has been talking
We
about.
all are.
We all are guilty. I agree. Calling somebody clear and light bright is disrespectful and hurtful to some people. That's the point I'm making. And you can't negate that within our community.
Can I, Diamond, can I say something? Because I cannot be up here all day. Respectfully. Respectfully, I gotta hop down. But let me just say this. Colorism is a direct reflection of racism, right? When we talk about racism, YT people should not be centering their issues, just like when we talk about colorism, light-skinned people should not be centering. Light-skinned people should not be centering their issues, right? Because we have to understand that it is systematic. Remember when they used to call 4C hair nappy, right? And 4C hair was prominently on darker skinned people, right? They used to call it nappy, sheep's wool. They used to dehumanize darker skinned people. Remember the doll test, right? Where children were literally taught to accept lighter skinned people over darker skinned people. Children said that lighter skinned people were good and better than darker skinned people. So this is not only taught at a young age, this is also taught in school. So we have to be mindful of that as well. We have to be mindful of the systematic oppressions that darker skinned people face over light skinned people. Like Javon was saying, Zendaya even talked about how she had more opportunities than darker skinned people. Remember Whoopi Goldberg, right? And how ugly and how demonized Whoopi Goldberg was because she was of a darker skin complexion, right? While Zendaya, right, or Alicia Keys or Beyonce of a lighter skin complexion, they got more opportunities. They were considered the beauty standard. Tyra Banks is also considered the beauty standard. Let's be mindful, the models, right, of today's
already
century.
said that that's not
Wait,
true. The
drop
darker
queen. Am I
skin.
able, drop queen? I did not interrupt you, love. Am I able to finish?
You're right. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. All I'm saying is we see this everywhere. When YT people had this in mind, right? When they separated light-skinned people and dark-skinned people. They had the darker-skinned people out in the field. They had the lighter-skinned people in the household, right? They did this by design so that we could not come together and raise hell. They did it so that we could demonize each other, so that darker skinned people could see the treatment, the better treatment that lighter skinned people had by being in the house. Because remember, sleeping outside is a little different than sleeping in somebody's house, right? If you sleeping outside, that's different than sleeping in the house. So we have to be mindful, right? They call dark-skinned people aggressive. They dehumanize us, right? They lock darker-skinned children up at a faster rate than lighter-skinned children. We see this with the school to prison pipeline system. We see this in all areas. So I just want us to be mindful. When we talk about colorism, it is very unfair to darker-skinned people when lighter-skinned people are putting their trials and tribulations ahead of darker skinned people, when in all actuality, colorism only affects darker skinned people. But that's all I have to say. Thank you for letting me up, Diamond. I'm dropping.
Sis, could I ask you something? Could I ask you something, sis?
earlier?
No, could I ask you something, sis?
No, you asked the panel.
No, I want your opinion. Let me ask y'all something. Do you think racism exists in YT community? The reason why I say that, right? Let's look at the Jews and the Holocaust.
You mean prejudice. You mean prejudice, not racism. You mean prejudice.
Prejudice, I meant to say. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, so I'm just gonna say this real quick, and I'm gonna drop and let it down.
So hold on.
Let
me. Just don't skip what I just said.
Like to talk. It's insane at this point.
No, we said prejudice.
It's not racism. It's prejudice. We can be prejudiced in our own community, and then prejudice moves into a classism. Classism moves into an ageism and a colorism and all of those different things. But it doesn't start off. It starts off not from racism, but just pure prejudice. Because you envy what the lighter person got.
So is colorism, is it prejudice or is it racism?
It's not racism. Racism is from a people who have power.
It's prejudice that stemmed from racism. It came from.
So basically, we're arguing about colorism, right? So basically, y'all saying it is prejudice, right? So
Yeah.
don't you think every race go through this? What do you think every race go through this?
No, because by definition, colorism is the discrimination and prejudice against darker skin tones. White people are not dark, so they can't deal with colorism. This is a specific group.
It said darker skin tones. Let me read the definition one more time. Let me read it one more time. Okay. Prejudice or discrimination against individuals with a dark skin tone, typically among people of the same ethnic or racial group.
I just wanted to add really quick to Javon, if I can. When Lee's point, when we talk about if we all just black, we all go through adversity, untrue. As we brought up yesterday too, even in the workplace, these jobs know who to hire. They are very strategic in their hiring process. There have been so many articles on this, and even jobs, people that are hiring that have mentioned that they are biased with hiring. The assumption again that darker skinned people are more aggressive, they won't be good workers, lazy, etc. When y'all brought up Hollywood, I thought that was comical because Zoe Saldana, whatever her name is, however you say the last name, she played a dark-skinned woman's role, Nina Simone. So she had to do blackface just to take the role. Colorism is so ingrained in our community that they will say, if hiring a dark-skinned black woman, especially a fat dark-skinned black woman, to play the role, we're going to hire somebody lighter because that's how privilege goes. One of my last points, because I know Alicia want to go, is everybody's limit is their privilege a lot of times. And I said it in quotations because a lot of y'all get on these panels and say, but I've never experienced that. But I just don't deal with that. Well, I just never understood that. You wouldn't, because your limit is your privilege. We talk about the same thing with pretty privilege. You're not going to understand what I don't want to say ugly, quote unquote, ugly person will go through at a club who don't get a drink bought for them, or go through at a gas station who get to skip the line, or a man pay for their gas, because you have pretty privilege. So you're not able to think beyond that. So I just say during this conversation, let's try to take our anecdotals out of this, because you're not going to understand, because you go through life another way. That's where intersection keeps coming back into this conversation.
Well, me, I would prefer a dark-skinned woman with pretty skin than a light-skinned woman with pretty skin. That's just me. I'm just saying.
So, if y'all know the movie, do y'all know that?
That's what you. So that plays back.
Say that again, Zoe.
I would prefer a dark-skinned woman with pretty skin than a light-skinned woman with pretty skin. That's just me.
But no, that's fetishization. Because
is your girlfriend dark skin?
Brown.
Okay.
He about to make me cuss.
So I wanted to make a point about the Hollywood thing you were talking about, Alex. If y'all have seen the movie The Hate You Give, and if you know the book, it is about a dark-skinned woman, and who they had play was Amanda Stenberg, and she plays in a lot of movies that are associated with that have been roles that are given to her. They do that all the time. Like there was a dark-skinned woman that was supposed to be played for the role, and Amanda Steinberg took the role. So, I mean, it happens in Hollywood all day.
There's a lot of roles. Even that one girl off the show Atlanta, the lighter skinned woman.
Hold on, Alex.
She played.
Hold on, Alex. Let Alicia say something. She's been trying to say something, and she
Oh
said,
yeah, I forgot about her. My bad, Alicia.
Go ahead, Alicia.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, y'all. So I am here because, of course, I've been listening yesterday, been listening today, and y'all really are missing it. Y'all saying the same thing, but y'all are so caught up in the animosity against each other that y'all not listening. Like y'all getting to a point y'all listening to respond, and y'all really not listening to understand each other, which I feel like was the point of this discussion, right? Y'all, it is being mixed up. So you're talking about colorism, which is within the community, right? The same ethnic group. But then you'll piggyback and give an explanation about racism and prejudice and, getting to the YT people. So then it gets confusing. So then you do get a lighter skinned person or another person who's going to chime in to say, oh yeah, I experienced that. Oh yeah, because that's the example you're bringing up. So if you're going to speak about colorism and want to keep it there, right, to not get in this argument and shun what somebody has to say, you kind of have to keep those examples in your point, in your topic, and what you're trying to get across into colorism. So keep it to, what this ethnic group is doing against this ethnic group, and that only, because in that instance, then yeah, you can't get a light-skinned person to come in here and say that's the case, because that doesn't work. And then I'm going to say this to the light-skinned community. Y'all say what y'all want to say to me. Y'all know I don't care. Come up with another goddamn word. Okay, don't call what you're going through colorism. If you want to make up your word, if you feel like you just want a title, you feel like you just want a label so you can be in the game too, then make up your own word. because it's not colorism, because colorism is specifically defined, which is Zodiac saying it over and over, Alex saying it over and over, everybody else saying it over and over. So if you don't want to offend them, then stop trying to use something that is defined for them, because in that same instance, since I want to do that, right? If somebody go over here and say, oh, I'm a YT person, but you talking about your struggle as a black person, and that YT person say, oh, well, no, I have to deal with that, you're going to be mad. You going to blow a motherfucking gasket and say you ain't black. Don't say that. You can't relate to it, because the black is defined as darker. You know what I'm saying? So use that same rhetoric, use that same ideology when you're up here talking. Y'all talking to 1,000 or 2,000 people. Y'all trying to get a point across. Y'all trying to have an effective communication and topic. The shit ain't effective and it ain't going nowhere, because y'all, it's animosity at this point. So that's where I'm coming up here to say. So for Drop Queen, Alex, everybody else, I get what y'all saying. I get where you're coming from. But if y'all light-skinned people wants to be in here and talk about it and talk about your experience, it's not colorism. Make up something else. And
I've
I land
already
my
said
plane.
that. I said
Thank
it's
you,
shadism.
Alicia.
I said it's shadism. But you cannot tell me that you just negate, because if we fix the issues that we have with colorism, okay, when we tell lighter skinned people within the same racial groups, okay, we shouldn't judge our children and worry about the color that of ears of our children, or what color skin tone our children are going to have. When we solve that problem, don't tell me that, oh, it's not a problem they call your daughter clear. So I'm saying address all of the issues. I'm saying we're all in this fight together. That's what I'm saying. I never negated that they have an issue. I'm saying that I don't look at our people. I love melanated people. I don't look at our people. And if I say something insulting to you, it has nothing to do about your skin tone. I've never heard of that. I wasn't raised that way. Just like friends say she wasn't raised that way. We played with everybody. If it wasn't friends, maybe it was Angel. We played with everybody. We didn't exclude people because they were darker. We didn't exclude people because they were lighter. That's
I don't
okay.
go off
So we
color.
didn't do that. Exactly. We didn't do that in our time. So all I'm saying is we also feel insulted when people tell us, oh, you think you something, you think you pretty, you think you cute because you're lighter skinned. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. Don't just say that we should stop being colorist toward darker skinned people. We should stop looking at each other than being melanated people in this fight together. That's the point that I'm making.
Okay, so Drop, I'm not saying that, right? What you're saying is where you want to fix it or where you're trying to get, because you're, of course, you're pulling out of it a point to say, well, the reason why we're colorist is because of this. You are, it's really speaking to a point that we became colorists as light-skinned people, and I'm validating that I'm a colorist because they tell me you too pretty. They tell me this and this and that because of what they say to me, and because of how this particular group made me feel as a light-skinned person is why I snap back, and why it validates how I feel and what I say about maybe a dark-skinned person or feel. Maybe not saying it. I'm not saying you've been that way. I'm talking about in this conversation in these last 2 days of me hearing it back and forth, back and forth. Some of the things that you say, some of the ways that you're wording it, the verbiage you're using, it definitely comes off as colorist. Because again, colorist is you are separating. You're defining a light from dark, red from this. Explaining my grandmother's dark skin, my aunt's, but I got a daughter that's light skinned and I'm dark skinned. You are literally defining the difference between color, which makes it colorism.
But that's the conversation, ma'am. That's those. Well, I mean, we're talking about color in a conversation. I have to identify when I tell Diamond, oh, Diamond, I went to my daughter and asked her, did she experience colorism? I have to say, I went to my darker skinned daughter to see her view. I went to my lighter skinned daughter to find her experience. So I have to put color in it. I'm not a colorist.
But that's why we're
It's a conversation. It's a conversation. We're having a specific conversation about a specific thing, color.
Hold on, drop. You about like me, because we didn't, as we was growing up, we didn't really care whether you were darker or lighter.
Didn't care at all.
When did this start? When did this become a?
This has been from the beginning of time, bro. Like the colorism has been here forever.
I get what you're saying, but a lot of people haven't experienced it.
Those are your anecdotal experiences. If we're talking about the majority versus your anecdotal experiences,
so you said majority people.
Majority. Zoe, you ain't experienced because you are not of a dark complexion. You're proving the whole point that they up here, and y'all going back and
But
forth.
he's saying he didn't
They
mistreat
literally,
anyone too. He also said
but
he
he
didn't
also said he
mistreat
didn't see it.
anyone.
He said it didn't happen during that time, and that's untrue. Which is why I keep telling y'all, your
No, I didn't.
limit is your
I said I
privilege.
didn't experience it. I didn't say
Correct.
This
Your
is
but
this
but
is your
Zoe, remember, hold on,
anecdotal.
Sauce,
That's
really quick.
anecdotal.
Experience, y'all.
Right.
He just going to it.
Yeah, Zoe
Remember
saying
what
that
I
he
just
hasn't
said earlier,
experienced it
though.
happen to him.
Right,
That's
and that goes back to what I'm saying. And Alicia, your point is being proven again about myself, Sauce, and others. I just stated everybody's limit is their privilege. So him saying I don't experience it, his limit is there because he's not dark skinned, so he's not going to experience it. That's his privilege. That's why we keep hearing I every 5 minutes from everybody.
Mhm.
So
Well,
Zoe,
if
I
I could
asked
say
my
something,
mother. I'm sorry. So
I mean,
So you
Zoe,
know it's
is
still
it
so you
okay
know
for me
it's
to say
still love.
something?
I'm just being honest with you.
No, I'm just trying to figure out. I'm looking at my dark skinned cousins and uncles and that I've been hanging around all my life, and just see have I been in the. I'm thinking right now. Have I been in an experience where I saw that happen?
So my uncles grew up in Mississippi, and they are dark skinned, and they've been called aggressive. They've been called all types of
by
my
who
dark
though?
skin
By who? By who?
by
Our
dark skin
people.
by our
By
own
YT
people.
people. By
No,
YT
No,
people.
our
No,
own
by
people.
our own
no,
people,
our own
Jock.
people,
I'm
own people,
listen.
own people,
I'm
white
one of them
people.
Well, you
people.
that's your
Oh,
anecdotal. That's your anecdotal experience because I've been called the same thing, and I'm lighter skinned. So that's your
Drop.
anecdote. Let's leave
I'm
our
a darker
anecdotal
complexion.
experiences out.
I'm a darker complexion, and they talk shit about me all the time because I'm passionate about what I say. I'm
They
aggressive. I'm
they do
loud.
it to
I'm
me too,
wrong.
and I'm lighter
I'm yelling.
skinned.
I'm this, and I'm darker than you. You get what I'm saying? I
and
hear
if
it
we're,
all the time, but I don't care because
and
I'm
if
gonna be who I am.
and
You
if we're
say for the
talking,
other.
You know what it sounds
hold on,
like
hold
to
on,
me? It
Diamond,
sounds like
Diamond,
a
are you
lot
trying to
of
talk?
folks
Diamond, were you trying to talk?
it sounds like a lot of folks in here is like it's like my struggle's the worst. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's trying to out struggle the next person to me. Like, oh yeah, you think you're struggling, but I'm a shade darker, so my struggle is worse than yours, and you can't know my woes because I'm a shade darker than you. Your struggle is only as hard as your complexion, which is all like garbage to me. We're
I
all
agree.
black. We're all
I
black,
agree.
and I think that people that it all depends on what you think about yourself. And if you think you're black and ugly, you're gonna lash out on folks that you don't think is black and ugly. And if you think that you're light skinned and superior, you're gonna lash at people that you think aren't light skinned and aren't so superior. It's the individual person. It has nothing to do with your color or your shade, because white people know we're black, just like whether you want to say a light skinned person pass or not, white people know you're black. And then in when a light, and it's hard for a light skinned person because the darker skinned blacks treat you as if you got something over on them when you actually being treated as they are in the workforce. I think people need to stop making excuses. Stop trying to trauma bond with each other, because usually that comes from people that are like that have other issues other than their complexion. Because I know real dark people that get that get ahead in life and are beautiful. It's only when you find people that have other issues like obesity and facially challenged on top of whatever they say they dark struggle is, that have these problems. When you have beautiful black melanated women, they don't have problems, but you can find facially challenged light-skinned women and they have troubles.
So again,
This is a
all
lighter skin.
relative.
This is a lighter skinned black person.
Can
By the
he
way, a
finish,
lighter skin.
please?
Can you
Everybody
be
has
quiet?
I know
spoken.
everybody
Can y'all
wants to
allow him
chime
you
to
just
in.
endorse
finish?
Girl, please.
colorism.
Can
You just
Can y'all
can
endorse
I
allow him
land
to
my
colorism.
plane?
finish? He
Can I
has
land
his
my plane? I
opinion.
know it's
Even if
difficult.
it's colorism, can
I
y'all
know it's
allow him
very
to
You just said
difficult
finish?
for
facially
y'all to
challenged.
like be
Again, you
quiet
just
for
said
like a
Okay.
facially
few minutes.
challenged.
But I'm
That's
about
not
to
that's
land.
not colorism. That's
I
ugly.
know,
Facially
I
challenged
know.
means ugly,
Listen,
Zodiac.
I know
Everything is
it's
not
difficult for y'all
colorism.
to
Allow him to
let me land,
finish.
but let me land this plane and then y'all can chime in. I know y'all been biting y'all tongue because everybody wants to trauma bond on how
No, because
hard
it's
they struggle
ignorance.
is right now. But what I'm trying to say is everybody needs to put that down and just realize that we're all black and that we're all in the same game, because the white tees used to do it to each other over there in Europe. If you was Polish, or if you was Jewish, or if you was Italian, you was treated differently. But when they came over to the United States, they say, hey, look, long as your skin is white, you're fine. And so they happy over here. We need to say, hey, long as you got melanin in your skin, you're fine. So we can work together over here and stop freaking separating ourselves, because you can go to Africa and then you all are light skinned compared to some people in Cameroon. So please.
Yeah,
colorism too.
let's live. They
That
about
was
to
so
jump on
good.
you. I would have just been
Isn't it
The
crazy?
presence of success does not equate the absence of oppression. Like, y'all
Isn't
have
it
to think about that.
crazy? Isn't it crazy that this
Sean, he
man
said,
gives
let's
his
live, love, laugh
opinion?
through colorism. Let's live, love,
This
laugh through
man,
colorism.
this
No, 'cause
man.
they live in something different. They live in something different, right? So let them talk too. I like to learn from them.
But it doesn't matter, Zoe. It's crazy. We've
Okay,
been
so
having a
so I
good
got
conversation. I'm gonna drop
Rotate me.
Diamond. If you say this, allow me to say this, and I'm gonna drop Diamond. If Zoe wants to stay up, I'm
yeah,
dropping
because
anyway.
they paying to skip the line, so I got to.
Oh, they
Okay.
paying to skip.
Y'all
Okay,
having
yeah,
y'all having all lives matter
I'm
mentality,
finna
and it
all
negates the fact we're talking about
melanated
color.
I do.
all melanated
I do,
people.
Zodiac. I don't care about color. And I'm gonna drop off that. I
Allow
don't care about color.
allow me to drop too.
That's sad.
All melanated people matter, but it's amazing how we were having a very good conversation, and soon as someone comes up and give their perspective and is not matching what someone else says, and they're not ready to trauma bond over that energy, then, oh, this is so stupid, you're so ignorant, you're this, you're that. Can you have a conversation with not being insulting of someone else because they disagree? So when I tell you you have a bad attitude, it has nothing to do with your color. It's that temperament that you give people when they disagree with you.
I
He
literally
has
have
a
not been
right to
loud.
his
I don't have a
opinion.
temper. You're
You
just
were not
colorist.
loud, but you did
That's
call him
literally just
ignorant.
colorist.
You
I don't.
called that man ignorant because
I
he
called him
disagreed with
worse.
you. Oh, it's ignorant.
He is ignorant. He's 100% ignorant.
Same thing that you do.
You don't have to call names. You don't
But
have
that's
to
the
call
same thing
people
that you do.
names.
That's an
It's your
observation.
mama.
That's
Hey,
all. If
hey,
you
hey,
say
hey,
that,
hey, let
if
me
you
tell
say
you something.
if
Don't
you
come
say
for
it,
me,
so
because
she'll
when that
receive
bitch
it.
come out my
She's
mouth,
just
then y'all
colorist.
want to get mad.
She's
When that
colorist.
bitch come out
If
my
you want
mouth,
to, but
then
you look
y'all
like a lab
mad.
rat. So at the end of the day, you're gonna be
And you look
disrespectful.
like
I
a
could be
monkey.
and
You
your
look like
mama
a
look like a
gorilla.
bitch.
There she go.
And,
There it
and,
go.
okay,
It
but
came out. There it
hold on.
go.
She called me a lab
We
rat.
told
So
you. It's on
is it
replay.
okay for her to
You
call
look
me
like
a
a
lab rat?
COVID
Is
vaccine.
it
Y'all
okay?
both
Okay,
are.
see, look, hold up.
And you
So
look
this is
like a
what we
sick
just
dick.
talked about. We
And
just
you
You
look
look
like
like a
you don't
sick
wash your
dick.
ass.
You
And
look
you
like
look
a
Are
like
we
your
sick dick.
breath
doing?
stink.
But I got
And
my
girl,
real
you
profile
old
up
as
here.
fuck. That's what. Let me
I
tell you
got my
something,
real
Black Queen, because
profile up here. So you
I
see what
feel
I'm
like you
saying?
always want to be
It's
disrespectful when it
crazy
comes to
that
dark skinned
these
women. You
people
just
think it's
upset that you got
okay. I
fucked
have
out
no
at a
problem
young
with
age and
dark
had to get a
skinned
GED
women.
and
What are
couldn't get a
you
high school
talking about?
diploma. That's
Hold
why
on,
you upset at dark skinned Black women. You
what? It
upset.
said a
Yeah,
dark
like I said, you
when
upset that you got fucked
what
out
dark
and was stuck in
skinned
dick in the
Black woman
bathroom and you
am
couldn't
I?
graduate from high
What
school
dark
and you had to get a
hold on. I
GED and
could
you've been
have
upset ever
graduated.
since.
I
Every time
chose
you
not to
come on a panel, you want to
graduate.
disrespect
I
Black women.
chose not to
So again, y'all kind of
graduate.
proving the point. Y'all kind of proving the
I
point about
chose
the
not to
terrorizing.
graduate. Yeah, she's proving the point of
No,
how
both of y'all are Q and
she's
drop. Both of
proving
y'all.
the she's
Not playing
proving the point
sides.
how aggressive
No,
she
you
is. Why are you
you
so
gotta have a
aggressive?
point.
Every
Why
single
are you
day,
so
every time you come on a
aggressive?
panel, you want to
Why
derail
are
it.
you
At the end
so
of the day, we all have
aggressive,
opinions. We
ma'am?
all have
You're
emotions. You
just
always
so
want to attack us. What,
aggressive. You're
ma'am?
so
And let's be
aggressive. Is
aggressive.
it
Yeah,
your
I'm straight
skin
out
tone
Miami.
that makes you
We're
so
gonna be aggressive. You
aggressive?
want to call me aggressive
You're
because I'm
just
dark
so
skinned? Are you
aggressive.
upset?
You
If
called
I'm
me out of
aggressive,
my
you aggressive.
name
If I'm aggressive, you
first,
aggressive. And
ma'am.
you a dirty
Y'all
ass
don't
ugly
like the
asshole, like I
getting the
said.
energy that you
I'm
give.
gonna give you that energy
You
because you always
don't
want to
like
disrespect
to
somebody. You
get
always
the
want to
energy
disrespect
that
a
you
Black
give.
woman. You
If the
Man,
host
you
can
can't
just take control for a minute, I
you
appreciate
can't
it.
use a
problem with
story
his
that I
ignorance. Comment is
told.
ignorant.
You can't use the story that I told to go
What's
against me,
up?
baby. It's my
Ignorant.
testimony.
Put y'all energy on the
That's
ignorant
right.
individual who just said the ignorant
That's
things that they said.
right. That's
else.
right. I
Hold up.
dropped out of high
What are y'all?
school. I baby, I dropped out
Drop.
of
You
high
going
school
after
at
young
17.
people. Let them have it, baby.
Let them have it drop. Let them have it drop. But sis, let them have it.
No. She came
Wait,
from
but
me,
didn't
and I
Fire?
It's all right.
it's
It's all right. It's all right.
They're
Drop.
gonna learn to respect their elders.
She called people names first.
That's a
You want
lie.
to
Drop.
somebody
It's
somebody's
it's
trying to talk to
obviously
Alexandra
drop.
called that
It's
man
obviously
ignorant.
that
I did not
these
call
young.
anybody a
It's
name.
obviously drop that
I
these
haven't
young
called
ladies
anybody a name
have
since I
She's
got up here.
disrespectful.
have a
You guys
dislike
have a
towards
tolerance
you.
for
You have a
disrespecting older
dislike
black women, and
towards
then when the
them.
younger generation
I don't have
fight
a
back,
dislike
y'all
toward
want to talk
anybody,
about some of
Fendi.
these younger
The
generations.
problem
That's
is
not
they
okay, but
trauma
we
bond
not
with their
disrespectful
disdain for me.
She's
They
disrespectful.
If the
trauma
host
bond
can
with
like
their
take
I
control
don't
of it a little
understand
bit.
because
Fred, if you say it one more time, say
they
it one
trauma
more
bond
time.
with their
You
dislikes
say
for
it one
me.
more time. Don't you do?
Can I just say something real quick, please? Yes, Fire.
Because I've been waiting to say my talking point.
So my
Lord have mercy.
mom,
To
I
be
don't have a
able to
trouble with
come up
anybody
here
dark
and say
skin.
that we should all be working together and getting along and doing all this stuff or whatever, it don't make no sense. One, this is a terrible example of anything close to that. Two, how are we working together when we can't even have the conversation about colorism? Zodiac read the definition of colorism and we still can't accept that. When people say that you're censoring yourself, drop, you are. And it's not just you. It's like that's why more darker skinned people need to be up here. Because instead of having the conversation, instead of listening, instead of trying to understand somebody else's experience, we're talking about y'all. Like dark skinned people are saying, like, okay, but this is our experience, this is what colorism is, this is how we experience colorism. And then the lighter skinned people are like, yeah, but like one time somebody had told me, like, I think I'm pretty. Like, what are we doing? That's not the point.
No,
That's not the point.
what's
You can't
happening
talk
is
about being supportive of other people, Fire, when you come up
hey,
here
let me
and
just
say
say this and
something
then I'll
like that.
drop. Let me say this and I'll drop.
No,
Look,
because
the
I'm
problem
talking.
is
Both of them got banned, y'all. Damn.
Don't you drop?
let me say something real quick.
Let
The
me-
problem is this. The problem is that they're arguing about like the definition of a colorism, and they saying, oh, well, you can't be a victim of colorism if you're lighter than me. And since I'm darker, I'm the victim. So
Period.
I'm gonna be the victim, and no one can be more victim than me until somebody darker on this panel say I'm lighter than them, and now they're the victim.
That's not what
Stop being a damn victim.
That's not what's
being a
happening.
goddamn victim.
Y'all sound like
we
white
all have
supremacists.
melanin
Y'all sound
in
like
us.
babies of white supremacists.
Hold on. So Fire Fred, if someone comes up here, right, and they tell their experience, right, and their experience is different from another person's experience, that means they are being a victim.
No, what I'm saying is your experiences are valid. What I'm saying is
no, you
don't
cannot say both of
discount
those.
someone else's experiences because you think that your experience is worse. What I'm saying is I have friends that live in Africa. I have friends from Nigeria that's darker than everybody on this thing. If I tell them to come on this post, then all of y'all are light skinned and none of y'all can understand the dark skin struggle. Stop being petty about different shades of your skin. We're all black.
But no,
morons.
But Fire Fred, but hear me out though. If you bring your friends from Africa on here, I guarantee you that there are some dark-skinned people that can relate to them.
They won't relate to them because they don't have the issues in Africa that we have over here. We're morons the way we act.
They definitely have colorism in Africa.
Not like here.
Yes,
not
they
like
do.
here.
They have the
because
same
they know
culture
that they all Nigerian. They know that they all African. I have
We're talking about color hierarchy. We're talking about color hierarchy.
Listen, my girlfriend lives in Jamaica. She's from Jamaica. I fly to Jamaica all the time. We spend time together going back and forth. In Jamaica, yeah, they have problems with color too, but not like this shit y'all talking about. This is crazy. Y'all need to get yourselves together.
It's probably crazy.
No, you don't know what he's talking about because if you want to bring up Jamaica, that's one thing you can't tell me about.
I know you ain't talking about Jamaicans because they bleach their skin.
I'm Caribbean.
I'm not
Caribbean.
saying that they don't have the
bleach.
issue.
DR, they
I'm not
bleach.
saying that they don't have
Jamaica,
the issue.
Trinidad,
What I'm saying is
they bleach.
listen,
So
I've been
again,
in Jamaica more than you can shake a stick at.
it's because of colorism, because what's being said to them. Because what's exactly.
not the beauty
Exactly.
standard. So if we have to
Fire,
remember
you just
that countries, can we stop cutting each other off, y'all? We have to remember that these countries you're talking about in Africa was also colonized just like we were. Right? Colorism exists in every community. And somebody up here earlier said white people don't experience it. We know that there's darker skinned Hispanic people that are white, right? That are not Afro-Latina. And they do experience colorism in their community because their race is still white. We got to remember that is people within the same ethnic and racial group. So yes, white people can be colorist to white people with different ethnicities that appear darker than like a white American or somebody like white Europeans. They can experience colorism, right? But to the guy that's saying that we will be considered light skinned to people in Africa, there are African Americans that are just as dark as people you'll find in Africa. There's
You're missing a whole.
We have an African man on the panel
missing-
right
I'm
now.
missing your point. Yeah, my friend right here is literally- I'm
You're
not
trying to
missing
be
your-
exacting where you're
Gazebo.
missing the point.
No,
The
you're
point
just
is,
not
missing
the
your
point
I'm
is
not
there's
missing your
always
point.
somebody darker.
Hold on, wait.
So your plight don't.
Hold on one
I'm
second.
not
So
missing
that's the whole idea that colorism can only happen to
Just
a
trying to speak.
person
Can you
that
let
is
her
the
finish so I can
darkest is
finish?
ridiculous.
Hold on one second, Fred. Hold on one second, y'all. Miss Fendi, honey, you gotta say your final words, babe. They paid to drop you.
Child, I was just going to hit the button, but my behind was eating and my hands was dirty because I don't like the back and forth. It tap dance on my nerves. But since you want to pay Diamond the money, okay, thank you. I want to say, where do light-skinned people come from?
That's the most moronic question I've ever heard in my life.
You need to shut up.
Where does light-skinned people come from?
A uterus,
Africa,
a uterus from a black woman.
We all come
that
from
slept with-
a uterus, but light-skinned people don't light-skinned people come from the white master having sex with the black slave woman?
Some of us, but not
So
all
we
of
are
us.
all black, but we
Not
are
all
all
of
black.
us.
Let me
Not
finish.
necessarily.
Wait, let me listen,
I didn't
people.
come
Let me
from
It's not all of
finish
us.
so I can
slave
drop. Let me
raped
finish
by
so
a
I can
white
drop.
master. I didn't
Let
come
me
from a
finish so I
slave
can
raped
drop.
by
Whether
a
you
white master.
whether you
Black
agree or
women can create
disagree.
all colors. Are y'all not
Hold
aware?
on, before you finish, y'all. Hold on, Fendi. I need 3 more subscribers, y'all. 3 more subscribers to reach the sub wave goal. Fendi, before you finish, let me say this out loud. If someone is trying to pay for you to come back, do you want them to pay for you to come back, or you don't? You said you don't want to go back before.
No, cause I'm eating my food. I'm preparing the rest of my dinner. I just came up here for that little thing.
Okay, so nobody don't pay for Fendi to come back. All right.
No.
All right, go ahead.
I don't understand
what. Okay, listen, I'm gonna go to what I'm saying, but why can't y'all respect each other, whether you like what they say or not? That's why you got a microphone to mute when the other person is talking. Y'all just talk over people, and then when someone talk over y'all, we speak the same thing. Don't talk over me, don't talk over me. But y'all do the same thing to each other. All I'm asking is just give me a few minutes without interrupting me, please. If we all talking about stuff that white people choose to do, well, we can't control it. But my point is, what are we doing for each other to fix the problem? With each other. Let's talk about how we gonna fix the problem among each other.
So
as
Fendi,
black people.
Fendi, hear me out, honey. Hear me out. I get it, honey. I get your final words. Fab just paid for 5 subscriptions, y'all. Welcome to the team. Check your name. You might have a badge. Check your name. Miss Fendi, I think that in order for us to do something as a whole with each other, we have to work on ourselves first.
I agree. I'll certainly agree. I was going to go there, but since you said it, I totally agree. If we are all going among each other with no respect degrading each other with all sorts of words and ourselves. Don't expect any other race to respect us. That's what I'm saying. Now you can drop me because I'm eating, honey.
All right.
Did she put a K on respect?
Respect. I said respect.
Yeah.
Okay, I said respect. Okay, like Carly B said,
R-E-S-P-E-C-K.
I said respect. However you choose to spell it and understanding is your business. But there's a meaning there. How can we all fix the situation with each other and respect one another as a whole community and unity of Black people?
Stop
Drop me,
perpetuating white
Diamond.
supremacist ideology.
Drop me, Diamond.
I'm dropping.
So the thing is, the implicit bias that we have against each other, we need to unpack that as well. We need to unpack the anti-Blackness that we have against each other, the things that we say to each other, the verbiage that we say to each other. And on top of that, white people have never respected us. Even if we came together, they do not like us as a whole, as a collective. From times of history, even when we came together,
If we come together,
they could give a fuck less. They could give a fuck
if
less.
we come together, it's gonna get worse.
Exactly.
It's gonna get
That's
worse.
true. They don't want us to come together in the first place.
They don't want us to come together.
So what do we need to act a
Tap
certain
dance
way?
for,
Act a certain way because they're watching. Like what? They don't give a fuck about us regardless.
And fire and earlier, really quick.
Not as long as we're acting like animals towards each other
What the
because
fuck?
of the shade of your complexion.
This is what I'm talking about. Like
That's what I'm saying. Like, no
But-
matter what anybody says, like he just wants to rebut.
Let me get these messages out. Someone said, for young, young can be disrespectful, but blame the elder. Let's go, Jelly, with the subscriptions, y'all. 5 subscriptions just been sent out. Y'all check your names. You might have a badge. Check your names. Welcome to the team. You guys might have a black badge next to your name. Check your names. Someone also said, Fire Fred, we are not. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, sweetie. What did you say?
That was a Cash App message to you.
What was the question? I'm sorry. What was the question?
To Fire, really, I mean, not to you. I want to talk to you. But I had said
what was
that
the question that was asked of me on the Cash App?
Please just read him his Cash App, please.
Let me go back to it. They said we're not petty. I don't know. Maybe you said something. Maybe you said we're petty. But they're saying,
what I'm saying is not everybody's petty. I'm saying folks that are like making a difference because of a person's complexion compared to theirs is petty. Yeah. So if you're doing that, then I beg the difference. You are petty.
I just wanted to say too, really quick, and then mute, is that she misquoted what I said earlier, and then she proved what I meant by intersectionality. When I said that the words that he was saying were ignorant, and then she blurts out and says, see how she talk about people? She rude. She called him ignorant. Then Sauce, I love you, but he unmuted and was like, what he said was ignorant. She didn't keep jumping down a lighter-skinned Black man's ass like she did mine, further proving the point about how colorism works. Because myself, I'm talking about Drop, because Sauce and I said the same shit, but she had more smoke for me, further proving how colorism works. Anytime that I have anything to say, it's look how mean and aggressive she is. She got so mad at being called a lab rat, she dug deep into calling another Black woman a monkey, further proving our point again. And then to continue to center herself for 3 hours at this point on the panel when the conversation of colorism is centered around dark-skinned women. Y'all don't gotta like Alex. I promise I'm gonna go to bed at night. But one thing y'all will never be able to convince me is that I'm as disrespectful overall Black woman when y'all hear Black men and lighter skinned women saying the same shit and you don't jump down their throat. Thank God Shard is on this panel.
All right.
You know what? Alexandria really have issues other than she thinks she's too dark.
Skin Black man is
Because
telling me
I
I'm
think
insecure.
because
That's
she,
crazy.
I think she has a lot more issues than she's
I'm so
leading on
sorry.
to, because her whole way of thinking is skewed.
Than everyone else's.
Do you know her? Do you know Alex?
He don't know nothing. He just know he up here talking because he got a mouth.
I'm listening to the words that's coming out of her mouth.
You're really not.
They are troublesome.
He the same one that just
Street
told
Fire.
dark-skinned Black people to just get over it. He told dark-skinned Black people to pull
Wait,
themselves up out of
I'm so sorry. I have a question.
Hold on 1 second.
I've never said any
Is
of
there-
those
is there
words.
like
Now
different elbows
you're
just-
now you're being disingenuous, Alex. I've never said any of those things. If you want to quote me correctly, all right? I'm saying that you have a problem with colorism because you suffer from other problems such as obesity and facially challenged. And then you combine
Nigga,
all
what?
that
Nigga,
together
what?
to try to
People
make
gonna keep proving
it
my
seem
point
like
about
it's because of
colorism.
your
Keep
color,
talking.
when
Let
in
them keep talking.
actuality,
Keep
it's
going.
probably because you're overweight.
Oh, I'm gonna sit back because Alex so cool is up here. I'm gonna sit back.
I want him to turn his camera on. He literally,
The way y'all be talking so
hold
anti-black,
up,
bro. This shit crazy, bro.
hold up. Because when this man got up here, he said that people are overweight and facially challenged. That's when they complain about colorism.
And
But then
I
the
think
same
they
breath,
use that
be quiet,
as
be
I
quiet. I
think
muted while
that
you were
makes their
speaking. Be
life
quiet, sir.
harder,
Be
and
quiet.
then they
Be
try to
quiet.
say it's all
Be
because of their color. They
quiet.
use
I
that as a
muted while
crutch.
you were
So
speaking.
Fire Red, why you can't turn your camera on?
He literally got up here and he said that we can't
I'm
dismiss
not
the
dressed.
feelings of lighter skinned
Okay,
people.
no, hear me out. Just hear me out because it really it kills me how so many people talk about other people, but will not turn their camera on.
And you can go to my page. My pictures is all over my page.
We don't know that's you.
You can see me. Just click and go to my page, and you can see what I look like.
We don't know that.
I'm not ugly, and I am light skinned.
No, that's
Because they might say you're facially challenged, bro.
I'm screaming.
I don't care what they say about me. I'm just saying.
Why you get upset?
People that have an issue.
Get upset for?
Whenever they run out of stuff to say, they just call me fat and ugly. That's all y'all ever say.
No. I'm saying that's part of your
literally all y'all
issue.
say.
I ain't saying you're fat and ugly only. I'm saying that's part of your issue.
Not
If she's overweight,
Why
if
are you
she's
so that I'm fat and I'm
overweight,
ugly?
say only.
This is the second day in a row that a black
I'm
man is
saying there's
talking
other
back.
stuff too.
This is
If Alex-
disgusting.
if
And
Alex
it's
is
crazy
over-
because if anything, I will be the first one on the front line for your black ass, but you calling me fat and
It doesn't sound like
You're
it. Sounds
ignorant.
like
You're
you
All
use
right, so hold on, wait.
You know something sound like when you don't listen.
Wait. Fred, say your final words. You should
I think she's having a pity party up here, and she's trying to.
Okay, so Fred, say your final words.
I am. I think she's having a pity party up here. I think a lot of folks come on here and they let their grievances
Say your light
out
skin
on
makes you
what
handsome?
they think is happening to them through colorism, when actually it's probably a problem that they have that they need to fix, probably in a shrink room as opposed to on TikTok. I think because it's nothing that you can't do that I can't do, and it's nothing that I can't do that you can't do in America.
You literally sound like a white person who's arguing against racism.
He does.
And did you say that you being light skinned makes you handsome? Huh? That's some wild shit.
I never said anything like that. What I said was Alex isn't all that is facially challenged and overweight, is what I said.
She's not facially challenged.
Ain't that your twin?
Well, I mean, everyone has their opinion. I think that's
You should keep some of your opinions to yourself.
You calling people facially challenged, but ain't that your twin? Is that not your twin?
On colorism is what I think.
Is this not your twin? You're calling a dark-skinned black woman facially challenged, but you look like handsome Squidward.
You do sound like a whitey man. You do sound like a whitey man.
Well, I'm not. I'm not
You
white
look
at all.
like handsome
Agent of white supremacy.
I'm not. Not
You're built like an Apollo.
Agent of white supremacy talking points. Agent of white supremacy talking points.
there has been several dark-skinned women who have come up here today giving their opinion on how they experience.
You are built like an.
Can y'all please stop interrupting me, please? I'm about to lose it. Please. Soft switch your loud mic, refresh it. Come on, y'all.
Wait, Sean. Let me get this out. So someone said Kit was interrupted by Fire. Can she finish? Also, Fire, you said your final words. Let me get you up out of here.
Why y'all taking me down? Did somebody pay to get me off?
Yeah,
they paid to get you off. Fire. That's why I said say your final words. When I say say your final,
I didn't know. All right. Well, it's been a pleasure talking with y'all. Get over y'all trauma.
You're ugly.
Get over your trauma,
goodbye,
please.
Fire.
I love you all. Get over your trauma.
Stop being ugly.
By Agent of white supremacy. By Agent of white supremacy.
damn. Y'all tap the screen, tap the screen, tap the screen. Also, listen, let me put my disclaimers out here. Do not blame Diamond for what they say in the comment section. Do not blame Diamond for what they say on the panel. All right. When I say your final words, that means someone paid to drop you. Also, okay, hear me out. we have quite a few people that are trying to get in the box to speak on this topic. All right. I want you guys to know when y'all come in the box, please come in and start talking, because if not, I will have to rotate you because there are other people that are waiting to come in the box. I'm not reading. Let me refund Hoover back his message. Also, I'm not, yeah, no, Diamond, yes, I have to refund Hoover. Y'all don't understand. Okay? Hoover's mouth is very reckless. And no. Now, so yes, I do not own the rights to what they say in the comment section. Do not blame Diamond. I do not own the rights to what they say on the panel. Do not blame Diamond. All right. Like I said, we do have people trying to come in the box. Again, I need you guys to chime in, y'all. This is a very hot topic, as y'all can see. Also, when I say your final words, that means someone paid to drop you. Shar, you gotta say your final words. Yeah.
Okay. First of all, I want to say to Alex, I love you. You know we don't agree on everything, but several darker skinned Black women came up here telling their experience with colorism. Even Diamond shared hers yesterday and made sure when she was opening the show this morning, said that she don't think light skinned people experience colorism. But these other dark skinned women aren't being told it's because they are facially challenged and overweight. But Alex was told that. And you said that you didn't know her. Today is your first time seeing her. And I just think that is very problematic. Can light-skinned people be bullied? Can we experience prejudice from our own people? Yes, we can. But the label is just not colorism. If we're going to argue for reverse colorism, white people argue for reverse racism. But we won't, right? Because it doesn't exist. Y'all have a good day. Alex, I love you for real.
I love you too.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Chime in, Jetpack.
Hi, Miss Diamond. Hope you're well. I just wanted to touch on 2 points really quickly. Firstly, I think that Fire making that whole argument about, can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, now we can. Yeah.
Okay, I think that Fire making that whole comment about how he has Nigerian friends is fundamentally ignorant, because Nigerian is not a skin tone. In Nigeria, there are a multitude of different people with a multitude of different skin tones, and for you to make that argument, in my opinion, is fundamentally ignorant. Secondly, calling Black people monkeys is insane.
Are you refreshing? Are you in school, babe?
No, I'm just sitting down in my little office space. I'm so sorry. Somebody next to me was just a tad bit loud. I apologize.
Okay.
I apologize. I just wanted to clarify. Like I said, firstly, to make an argument about knowing Nigerian people who are dark skinned and experience colorism as if there aren't light skinned Nigerian people is dumb. That's a dumb argument. I am Nigerian, and you sat up here on this panel running your mouth the entire time. You didn't even know that. It's an ignorant statement. Secondly, getting on Beyonce's internet and Blue Ivy's Wi-Fi service, utilizing Sean Carter's phone plan, and calling a bunch of Black people, much less a dark-skinned Black woman, a monkey, you're going to hell. Not jail, not prison, hell. I feel like some of y'all forget that hell is not a temperature. It is, in fact, a location. Remember that.
So with that being said, refreshing, babe, you say your final words. They pay up the drop.
You're totally fine, my love. I'll say this. I think that some of y'all get on Beyonce's internet and Blue Ivy's Wi-Fi service without understanding fundamentally what some of these topics are, and you just get your mouths. You don't know what you're talking about. You haven't done any research whatsoever. You're not educated on these topics, and then you perpetuate the same arguments that racist white people do. You coming up here and you talking about you a Black person, you're pro-Black, blah blah blah. Then you perpetuate anti-Blackness. You're ignorant. You were called ignorant because you are ignorant. And I'm going to touch your shoulder when I say this, right? Not a single argument, a single one of y'all who has come up here to argue against any of these people on this panel have made has been fundamentally rooted in any logical concepts. They have been ignorant. I say this not out of anger, but simply as a fact. It's 42 degrees outside, and your arguments were ignorant. God bless you this time, and I'll be in the comment section.
Okay, y'all know I like when he come in and read. Ooh. Y'all know I'm a little messy. I like him. All right, go ahead, Jetpack, babe.
Hey, how y'all doing today? I consider myself light skinned, so hopefully I pass what y'all consider to be light skinned so that I can speak on this. But can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So when it comes to colorism, some of us need to learn how to stay in the comments. And by us, I mean people who look like me. Because I can sit here all day and tell you stories about, oh, somebody said that I think I look better than everybody else because I got long hair and I'm light skinned. But this ain't about us today. This conversation has nothing to do with us unless you up here to defend somebody and our sisters. You understand what I'm saying? I had friends that I've actually stood up for. I had a actual really good friend. We both applied for a job. She's 10 times more qualified than I was. Went in for the interview, I got the job, she didn't. She was 10 times more qualified for the job than I was. She just didn't want to go and apply for it herself. She didn't want to go by herself. I didn't know nothing about nothing that had to do with nothing.
Why you think Jetpack she didn't want to go apply for the job, babe?
She just said she was just scared to go by herself.
Okay.
And it was nobody, it was just me and her. They interviewed both of us on the same day.
So do you think it has something to do with colorism?
Oh yes, absolutely. 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 My best friend is somebody you would consider to be dark skinned. So absolutely. Because I didn't know the first thing that man was talking about. I didn't know nothing he was talking about. And they called me back for the job. She just didn't want to go by herself. We applied, went in there together, filled out the paperwork together. But she didn't get the call back. I did. So when I went in there, I asked him, I said, hey, I said, you know, I really wasn't, I'm not supposed to be here. I was like, I just came with her because she didn't want to come by herself. So I said, I don't really know how I got the job. Well, I just thought you were, you were a better fit. How, sir? How? Please. So it does happen. So to sit up here and want to pull out my long skin, light skin, and all, yes. I've been told all of that. I've been told, oh, I'm gonna cut your hair off because you think you better than me. I done heard it all from family and from girls at school. But this conversation right here is not what they're talking about. This is past all of that. That's called bullying. We were bullied. You understand? We talking about colorism. Until you can actually say that you've seen it with your own eyes, you're just talking about your personal experience of being bullied. The interview was for CVS. Both of us applied to be a store manager at CVS. I never I never worked a day in my life. And this girl had been working since she was like 16 and had managed several other stores. But he felt that I would be better at the job than she would be. We were younger at the time. This was high school. This was high school. And she had started working and was managing a long time. I didn't know the first thing about managing. We were in the interview together. We both went in the interview together. So it wasn't something that was, that our interviews were separate. We interviewed together, filled out the same paperwork. I had no work history and she had a lot of work history. So, but he said he felt that I would be a better fit for the job. And when I asked him how, because she was more qualified for the job when it comes to managing all these other people. She's managed people before. I've never worked a day before in my life. But he said he felt that I was a better fit. We were in the same room together. That's just not possible. So yeah, colorism do exist. But to get up here in this box and say, oh, I've been told this because I'm light skinned, and I've been told that my son is a little bit dark, a few shades darker than me, and was just called a monkey 3 weeks ago by a student who's darker than him. But we're not going. That's not what this conversation is about. That's just being bullied. That's not colorism. We're talking about colorism. So if your topic has nothing to do with that, you shouldn't be in this box. And that's the only reason I got up here, is to say that it does exist. And us who don't experience colorism, we need to stay down in the comments. And that's just my personal opinion, but we need to stay down in the comments. That's all I got to say, Diamond. Y'all have a good day.
All right, honey, have a great one. Go ahead, Miss Queen.
Whew. First of all, good morning, beloved. It is always an honor to share space with you.
Good morning, honey.
Somebody gonna pay you to kick me. I just like at least $20.
Hey, Auntie.
Hey, beloved. Somebody gonna pay you to kick me. Okay, I'd like to raise my price to $20 as opposed to 10. Because the amount of anti-Black astedness in this chat is astonishing to me. If you are light bright, if you are of the beige brigade, your ass don't experience colorism. The reason this young lady was chosen and they told her you would be a better fit for this job is because in their mind, because she is a part of the beige brigade, she was more aesthetically pleasing than her darker counterpart. I don't know how y'all at y'all big ass age in 2024 don't understand that. And a lot of y'all come in these spaces saying, well, I'm light skinned. I've experienced colorism. No, the hell you haven't. You haven't. And that is some of the most anti-Black acid shit I've seen in a long time. If you are not of a darker hue, you will never experience colorism. I don't know how are y'all okay? Like y'all mamas ain't teach y'all this, the paper bag test? Y'all ain't learned none of that?
Auntie Queen, honey, I want to say this to you really quick. You spoke it into existence.
How much? Am I worth 20? Get your bag, girl. I love capitalism. I love capitalism.
Hold on, wait, Queen. They did pay to drop you. It's 25 to drop. It's 50 to bring you back up, but they paid to drop you. Hold on 1 second. So you do have to say your final words. So say your final.
Absolutely. Y'all hate the truth. Y'all are lactose intolerant. If you beige like me, you have never experienced colorism a day in your beige ass life. Only our darker hued sisters and brothers experience colorism. You just want to be a part of something for whatever reason, and I have no clue. You purposefully, knowingly, and willingly want to put yourself in a position to be further discriminated against, and I don't understand the logic. And I'm going to say it because I'm a part of the beige brigade, right? Y'all got the most ignorant, acidist thought processes ever. Because why would you want to put yourself in a line of fire to be further discriminated against? And I land my plane with y'all anti-Black acidness.
Hold on, Queen Mother. Hold on, Queen Mother. They pay for you to stay.
Look at the Lord. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? He shut up, shout out, ta-ta. Won't the Lord do it?
Hey, Auntie.
Glory.
I just want to say something real quick, and then I'm going to hop down because I wanted to say this before. What I heard today, and if they would listen to themselves, they said every single thing that YT people say when we talk about racism. They went from tokenizing their sisters, their daughters, their brothers. They also went to, well, I have never seen it. Why? We are all the same color. We're all human beings. We all bleed the same blood. Why can't we just get over it? Those are the same exact tenets of YT supremacy that every last one of them used. And the bottom line is,
If you don't see it, you don't understand it, and you have cognitive disassociated from it, the bottom line is you haven't unpacked it. You shouldn't say anything about it. You shouldn't speak on it, or just accept that you're colorist and keep it moving. Just call it what it is, okay? And what I see with a lot of these Black men who sit here and co-sign is there are a lot of them, they fetishize light-skinned women anyway, so they're defending any opportunity to do it. Because we all see it when celebrities go and dump their dark-skinned wives or their Black wives to go get a light-skinned wife or go get a white teep or a non-Black person. Oh, y'all see it then, but you don't see it with your own people. And then to be asinine for people who say they're in the medical field to say that that's not happening differently, you a whole damn liar. You have no experience. Because I fight with it all the time when they try to tell me that the darker skinned children don't bruise because they don't have the clinical assessment skills to be able to determine that there's a bruise. Not only that, y'all are not there when our sickle cell patients who are dark skinned get denied more pain medicines and wind up herniating and stroking out because people don't listen to them. You're not in those L&D wards where we're sitting up here dealing with the amount of mortality rates that are climbing, especially for dark. This is global. This isn't just in America. So that's how ignorant you are. You don't look into history not knowing that here, I'm in the South, so I've always heard it, but you know what they used to call it? Color struck. That's what they used to call it back in my day. And they would have balls.
Honey, if I can interject for a second, because you know they like to say, well, don't live in the past. Serena Williams, with all of her coinage, all of her coins,
and
almost lost her life after
white
having her
husband.
second child because her doctors would not listen to her. And I love this white supremacist talking point where they got some rich Black people. Baby, they are the exception, not the rule. Serena Williams got coins forever. And even her doctor would not listen to her. So miss me with that. And I'm sorry, what is the shade of Serena? Huh? What is this? What squeeze me?
I mean, look at Naomi Osaka versus Serena Williams when they played against each other. The first thing they did was sit there and try to say, oh, well, she was so aggressive towards little Naomi. And then they already had othered Naomi Osaka, making her better than Serena because Serena's dark and she's got Afrocentric features. Therefore, she has to be aggressive. And she's got to be bad. And oh, look at the little light-skinned Black girl. She's so sad. That's what they do. And I am sick if one more, especially that one drop, you ain't light-skinned, honey. You ain't light-skinned, okay? Because you wouldn't have passed the paper bag test. Stop doing that. I hate it when women who are just light-skinned because they are lighter than the darker people around them come up and say, I'm light-skinned. And they do that shit.
Biracial kids who try to say that I'm
Thank
not
you. That's how. Tell me that we don't know. Tell me we don't know a biracial with a white tea mom, because that's how they sound. Oh, I'm not Black enough. I'm not dark, and I was treated poorly by the darker skinned Black girls.
You gotta say it like them. You gotta say it like them, right? I was not dark enough for the Black side, and I was not white enough for my white side. They are all.
I was just in between. I was just in between, and my life is so
it's
hard.
sad that you would compare being bullied or that you was upset about what somebody said when we have people actually losing their lives behind it to say to get over it and not worry about it. That's our people that are unaliving.
And then you ask them, hold on.
Y'all know she about to come up, right? Y'all know she about to come up now, right?
Oh, I hope she does, because I will trust her.
Obama is a mulatto. They sound just like that girl that did that poem. I'm 3%.
Oh no, I'm a quadroon. I'm upset.
Historical context to those who say that about history or whatever. When you talk about this, how the light-skinned people who were in the house were discriminated by their own people. You were in a house, in a bed. I have visited my ancestral lands where there were slave quarters, and those places were outside. They slept on dirt floors, on straw. Can you really believe? I can't believe you say that. Not only that, they had a practice called debutante balls, where they would have white teen men come pick black women so they can keep producing more and more light skin. They have those balls all over Louisiana in the South. In the South, it runs so deep, it's so sinister, it's sick. And I get sick of people saying that. That it's not happening now. Where did it come from? It's always been around and you know it. You just don't want to accept it.
What they also don't want to accept is the fact that there are certain reasons why you don't trust certain people. If that person shows empathy or sympathy towards the person who is oppressing you, how are you going to trust them? There is a reason that you look at people a certain way. There's a reason we look at Clarence Thomas a certain way, correct? It's not just because he's dark-skinned. It's also because the man is a tap dancing, trash panda. And that is what we have to look at it. You can't trust people who sit there and tap dance for people who are oppressing you. And when y'all get up here and make all of the rest of the light-skinned crew look like ish with your stupidity and your white tea supremacist talking points and your all lives matter, all shades matter, it's shade-ism. No, honey, you never actually experienced colorism. Black children, if they are darker skinned, are more likely to be kicked out of school. They are more likely to be disciplined harshly. Black people, if a dark-skinned Black woman and a lighter-skinned Black woman go and commit the same crime, the lighter-skinned Black woman is going to get less time on her sentence than that darker-skinned Black woman. Darker-skinned women, they don't pay attention to their pain because they say the darker the skin, the thicker the skin. And that is why your pain doesn't count. They will sit there and shit on darker skinned women and darker skinned men. And then y'all have the gall, the utmost audacity to say, because they said I thought I was cute. Nope, I'm going to tell you why they bullied you. It's because you were a jerk and they didn't like you and you have a personality of paint. Okay, you deserve to get bullied for that.
Not identifying darker skin tones in trouble medically. That means medically they are being discriminated against by machines that are used to diagnose and catch people when they are in a critical and impossible decompensating state.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. I gotta interrupt y'all.
But one more thing I want to say. Chris Brown is a big component of how he didn't want any dark.
We're centering ourselves in a conversation.
Hello? So I'm going to
about
drop down
women.
because I think this is a conversation for dark-skinned people to have. It's not my place, but I'm going to fight for them because they're still my people, and I'm not going to stay and sit in ignorance. Look it up, just like we tell white people to go unpack it. Y'all need to unpack it and cut it out and stop it. Educate yourselves and everyone around you. It needs to be handled now.
And I'm gonna go ahead and drop and let my darker skinned sisters handle their business. But I came up here to check the beige brigade because you heifers are annoying as shit.
And with that, I'll drop with Auntie because I don't have a dog in this fight. I don't feel the effects of it.
But requesting permission to come back if one of the beige ones get out of pocket, because I'd really
Amen. I will come back up. We will eat them alive.
I want to get real active if they do. Requesting permission to come back if need be.
Yes, y'all can come back.
Okay, you can drop me. I'm gonna stay in the comment section because I'm about to get real goddamn active. But go ahead. Got my day.
Hello, can y'all hear me?
Yes. So hold on. Let me read this Cash App message. Someone said that's not colorism. She was overqualified. I think they were speaking to Jetpack when she came in and she was talking about her friend with the job situation. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead, Sha.
Okay, first things first, good morning. I'm not going to be up here long because I know like 15 to 20 people are waiting in line to chime in. So I'm just going to make my point across. Like y'all just don't even bother to look through the definition of colorism very clearly. And Zodiac just explained it very clearly. And y'all refuse to listen to hear what Alex had to say, or Shar had to say, or anybody who's darker has anything to say. And that y'all are so freaking quick to drop anybody who's speaking up about it. And y'all just basically proving Alex, Zodiac, Pat, and anybody else their point, including Lee. And the way y'all keep on interrupting them and trying to get their point across and trying to educate y'all on what colorism is, y'all like to interrupt. And that's really bothers me. And when I was trying to get my point across, look what happened. Look what happened. So at this point, I'm gonna say this to the life full ass mother effing light skinned black people. Y'all need to get y'all fragile in check, cause y'all just basically proving my point that y'all got so hurt in your own feelings, and y'all just don't know when to listen. Y'all just don't know when to listen. And when a dark-skinned black person trying to speak, here y'all go interrupting again and again. Cause if y'all don't have the chime in the comment section, if y'all don't know what the freaking topic is, stay in the comments. Stay in the comments. And I don't care what y'all gotta say about me, because at the end of the day, I'm still gonna be shy. At the end of the day, I'm still gonna be shy, and I'm gonna mind my own freaking business like I always have, and I'm gonna stay irrelevant like I always have. Y'all don't have to tell me nothing. Y'all don't have to tell me shit, because I was still gonna still to my grind to the day I die. You heard me? Do I make myself very clear? Do I need to say to the people in the back? And y'all have a good day. Love y'all.
Love you too, Shy.
Yeah,
I
talk
just
that
want to
shit, Shy.
quickly,
Yeah.
I just want to quickly go so I can free up the space. And I'm going to say this because I know that, like, what I'm about to say, that you're not going to call me aggressive. You're not going to call me a monkey. You're not going to say that, you know, I don't love myself or anything like that. But this is for women like Drop and other people who think that, like, after you sit in a panel for almost 2 hours discussing colorism, and the second that you feel attacked, you go directly to a colorist insult and pretend as if, like, oh, I mean, she called me this, so I'm just called. You knew what you were doing. You called her a monkey on purpose. You said that because you knew, like, you weren't even trying to be shady. You were trying to be hurtful. And I think it's really interesting for somebody who is a self-proclaimed mother of, you know, children of different shades. The second that you feel marginalized, or the second that you feel attacked, especially as a brown-skinned woman, that you go into anti-Black insults. I've heard many people on this panel speak. I like some of y'all. And I know that, listen, we go at each other all the time. You know, if somebody's coming at you, like, no, you're not expected to be PC over and over again. But there's a couple things that personally I have a bit of self-respect, and y'all could call me anything you want. I'm going to come at you and I'm going to read you, but I will never call another Black woman a monkey. One, because I was raised better than that. And two, because, like, I have the education and the knowledge and also the confirmation from my darker skinned sisters of how disgusting that is. So I think that a lot of you who are, like, so invested in having your voices heard should perhaps take a day off from the fucking panel, like listen to an audiobook if you can't read, and then come back and then tell the class what you've learned. But until then, like, just keep it cute. Keep it cute. Find something else to come at people about. I'm sure that you could come up with another mediocre insult, but calling Black women a monkey in 2024 is fucking boring and it's played. So, bye. Thanks for having me, Diamond.
All right, Cash Money. Thank you, babe. So I have a chat message. Someone said, this conversation is pointless, to be honest. It's been a light skin versus dark skin battle for 2 days now. People are either going to get it or not. Are not arguing the same talking points isn't changing anything.
That is true. Can I speak, or is this I'm in the wrong place?
Go ahead.
Okay. The one thing I came in during the time that you are talking about the hospital, and as a resident in a hospital, I've seen how our people are treated when our people come in. As there's a death in the family, security is immediately called. As a chaplain, I'm supposed to rally the family together. And it becomes an issue because whatever shade you are, it does make a difference. I have been a case manager who has seen people talk to me instead of talking to the actual patient. And so that it's a real thing. A name can get you not seen in a hospital. I have been with people who I've had to assert I have education. Someone said weaponizing education. I've had to use that in order to even for us to get into a room. So to say that we don't have that as an issue, that would be wrong. And I can land my plane there. Whether you're black or dark black, light black, whatever you are, it has an issue.
Okay, so y'all, let me read this Cash App message. This is another special Cash App message. They said, just because something is said about a darker skinned person that is derogatory doesn't mean it's colorist. Every time a dark skinned person is not hired doesn't mean it's because the color of the skin, but interview skills matter. They said dark skin cannot be the excuse to cover up bad behavior like Alex and others try to imply. Sometimes it's not the skin tone, but the self-esteem issues the person feels because of their own skin tone. They are their own worst enemy.
We can't get into the room. We got to be able to get into the room. We can't get in the room because of the way we look.
It's just that it's not even just that. They are saying that this conversation is turning into dark skin versus light skin, but it's not. It's a conversation that we're having about colorism, and it is darker skinned people constantly having to try to prove ourselves to the rest of the community. Like, we keep saying that we're having these experiences, and y'all keep on coming up with other stuff. The girl came up here and said that she's never worked a day in her life. She came up here and said that she said it herself. She did not qualify for the position. And we're still gonna tell her about herself and her friend just to prove the point that colorism isn't a thing. I don't get why it's so hard for you guys to understand it or why it's such a hard pill to swallow. Colorism is a real thing. And y'all want to defend drop. I'm sorry, Diamond. Go ahead.
Colorism is definitely a thing. Go ahead, y'all. I'm gonna keep that one to myself.
I just wanted to say that I see comments and stuff like defending the situation with Drop Queen and Alex, and it was crazy. And not only did she call her that name, but then she still was like saying like, "Oh, why are you so aggressive? Why are you so aggressive? Is it because of your skin tone?" Like, was that a joke? Was that supposed to be funny? Or was just her talking for 10 hours about how she never even heard or experienced colorism in her life? Was that a joke? I just really want to know.
So, okay. So 1 second, Jordy. When you say we can't get into the room, are you talking about because we're black?
Yes, I am. I am saying a name can keep you out of a room. A look can keep you out of the room because you're light skinned and good hair or whatever hair one chooses to buy these days. It makes a difference as to how the other part of the race sees you. And then it depends on how yours see you. We have been marginalized just for being dark skinned. I have seen it at play. I've seen it at work. I've seen it just because.
Okay. Got you.
Diamond,
Yes.
you were about to make a comment and you stopped yourself. I really want to hear what you were going to say. I feel like it's important to the conversation, but you stopped yourself and you shouldn't.
I agree.
Okay. When Jordy said, right, it's we trying to get in the room and sometimes we can't get into the room, right? I take it as he was talking about, like, like our color wise and stuff and jobs and stuff like that, right? So I was going to share with you guys some things that that I had to do that got me into the room, right? So
It's okay.
you know how you see how I wear long hair, and certain hairstyles, right? I will tell y'all this. I had to learn how to turn some things around, tone it down. What? I'm just saying. Hear me out. So every time I went into an interview to get a certain type of job, I got a wig in there. And it's a bob. Right? It's a bob wig. And the wig come like right here. I will wear that wig. Also, I also would wear very dark clothing to an interview. I always wore black to an interview. Very, very dark clothing. Because I already know what it is and what we got to go through, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that right there. Like, because all I'm gonna say is I understand what Jordy is talking about. And sometimes, like, it's really sad. It is. No lie. But that was the reason why, for me, I feel I was removed from working for Google, because it's a lot of things I seen that was happening, a lot of things. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. I wore that wig to work at Google. I wore that wig to work at Google. And like, I seen a lot with our people. That's why I could never work for certain companies and etc. like that, because they want us to be quiet and watch them treat other people of our skin color a certain way. So yeah, the code switching. Yeah. So when Jody was saying, like, we trying to get in the room, I felt that. I felt that. So somebody said, I'm glad I work from home now. Yeah. But you guys don't have to apologize. You don't have to apologize. But we're gonna keep going. Go ahead, y'all.
I think assimilation in the workplace is a heavy issue. Having to put our hair a certain way. That's what we currently have the Crown Act going on, so we can wear our hair in corporate America a certain way. Once we get to that point, then we would be able to, that assimilation would stop. But until we get there, they're still going to tell us to change our hair. They're going to tell us to straighten our hair. They're going to tell us to cut our hair. They're going to tell us not to wear locks. They're going to tell us not to wear locks in general, barrel locks. We currently have Daryl George, who is a young man who was wearing barrel locks, and he got expelled from school, and he hasn't been able to come back since, based off of that. This happens in schools. It doesn't just happen in corporate America. It happens everywhere. And there's a little white boy who has locks at the school, and they haven't done anything about that. But yeah. But again, colorism and racism do play hand in hand together.
And the issue is we don't even acknowledge it or know that we're doing it to each other. Because we've been told so long and conditioned so long, we fall into that trap. You're not white enough, you're not black enough, all of this. Looking at me, I'm a big black man. So when I walk into a community, I'm also a classical trained tenor. So me singing to a synagogue, I asked them, I said, so now what if it was me walking in your neighborhood with a hoodie on? Nobody's going to ask me where I got my degrees from. Nobody's going to ask me if I'm classically trained. Nobody's going to give me the opportunity. They're going to shoot me. And I wouldn't have had a voice, period. I've experienced prejudice from my own people, and I've experienced racism from the YT person because of the way I look.
I think that has definitely been here and been present, but I think that because of social media, it has become more. I guess it's just more visual to everybody, but it's definitely something that has been going on for a very, very, very long time. And a lot of people that are light skinned, we do have to unpack a lot. Because there are certain things that we do that may not seem colorist to us because we're black, but it definitely is. A lot of statements that we may say, a lot of ways that we may play may not come off as colorist to us, but it is to darker skinned people.
Well, I wanted to say, can you guys hear me? Hello?
You're good.
Okay. As a dark-skinned woman, I was the darkest person in my family. My sisters are very light skinned. One has hazel eyes, one has green eyes. So I know exactly how you guys feel, or everything you've been through. And what I used to get all the time is, oh, you're the beautiful dark skinned baby with all the pretty long hair. But as I grew, I began to love me for who I was. I studied with with my education. I went to college and, different things. I was afraid to have a child because my I didn't want my son to experience anything that I experienced. With my son, he looks like my sisters. And I can tell you, he doesn't face half of the things that I faced by my complexion. I went places and they'd be like, oh, that's your mom. But at the end of the day, guess what? It didn't matter to me because I knew I was his mom and it didn't matter to me what people thought of me. So when it comes to the different things of what people have experienced, right? I understand because in the wintertime, my skin is a little lighter. In the summertime, I tan up real good. You got people in the comments now saying I surely don't look like my picture, but that's my picture without any filters. But I just wanted to let you guys know, for the young and the old, I truly do understand. I do understand. That's it.
Also, can we, it's another thing that we can definitely do is stop with the backhanded compliments. You're so pretty for a dark skinned girl. You're so pretty. I didn't know that your hair could grow that long. Like those type of compliments aren't compliments. They're extremely backhanded, and they also don't help with the colorist situation by telling somebody they're beautiful because they're dark skinned or your dark skin is so pretty. Like the compliment comes off extremely backhanded when you do that.
Right. But at the end of the day, right, I've learned to ignore certain things in my life, even with the comments saying, different things, because we have Indian and we have Caucasian in our family. But at the end of the day, right, it's all about loving yourself. It's not what other people think of you. And that's what I've learned.
Absolutely. And that's a great mindset to have. But there are people out there that may not have that mentality yet or haven't grown into that stage that you've grown into. So it still is important for us to not even have these things exist or to minimize them, because there are people that aren't there like you are.
Absolutely. And like I said, my son, he's in college. He experienced this stuff. He'll say, well, mom, this happened to this, but it didn't happen to me. And he'll be like, why? Because my son is very high yellow with hazel eyes. And I tell him it's going to be okay. But at the same time, just, look out for your brothers and your sisters, because you never know what a person is going through, regardless of their skin tone. That's it. And before I leave, don't forget to come shop with me at Black Diamond 2. And bye bye for now.
Good morning, darling.
Good morning, Pete.
We love you. Good morning, Miss Diamond. We see you.